Welcome to the Face the Music Podcast. What is up, everybody? My name is Matt, and I'm your host. Welcome to episode 29. I've got a great show for you today. We got this week's top 10 songs. We talk about the Livenation drama, touch on some of the highlights from Louder Than Life and Riot Fest. And I have Mark from New York thrash metal band Electrocutioner on the show. You ready? Let's do it. Welcome, everybody, to the Face the Music Podcast. What is up? What is up? How's everybody doing on this first Friday of the fall season? I hope you all had a fantastic week. I hope you got to listen to my conversation with Jordan from the band Redefined last week. He is a great dude. Redefined is a great band, and I hope these guys take over the entire world next year. Make sure you go check out their music. Let me know in the comments what your favorite song was. Personally, my favorite from them is Let's Party, because it was the first song that I ever heard from them. It's a great party song, but behind it is also a really great meaning. And they just have so many good songs, guys. So make sure you go check them out and give them a listen. Follow their social media pages and let them know where you want to see them in 2026. Now, today, we have Mark, the vocalist and guitarist of New York thrash metal band Electrocutioner, on the show. I featured their music a couple of times now, and they're one of the best rising thrash bands out there currently. Their new album, Harbinger, dropped earlier this month, and the band is always playing shows, so make sure you go give them a follow on social media and get down to a show if they come through your town. We'll hear from Mark in just a little while. I hope you guys are excited about it. It was a very, very fun conversation, and I learned a lot about Mark, about how he writes his songs, what inspires him. We had a great time talking. Coming up next week, I have Anthony, the singer of the band Lost Becomes, on the show, so make sure you tune in to episode 30. If you are interested in coming on the show, please do not wait. Hit me up. I'm booked well into October now. Within the next couple of weeks, I'll be booked into November, and before we know it, we'll be in December. December is going to be a very busy month for me, and I'm probably not going to be taking any interviews. One, maybe two, and that's at the very most. So if you want to get on the show, you got to reach out now, because I really just won't have time to do it towards the end of this year. We'll be pushed into 26 at that point. As it is right now, the interviews I have lined up, I have four more that I have to record. The last one being on October 7th right now. So that one is going to air a month out. So don't wait. It's going to be a pretty hectic, rest of the year for me. There's only 3 months left. It's been a very successful year. I will say that it has been extremely successful. I love the fact that this is in high demand. It makes me feel so good that I started something that people are actually really excited about being a part of. So that makes me feel great, guys. But case in point is, if you want to come on the show this year, do not wait to hit me up, okay? Bands, same regard. If you have shows or music coming out that you want promoted, please tell me about it so I can shout it out on the show and help you out. Either hit me up on Instagram at the Face the Music Podcast, or email me at theftmpod@gmail.com. This is not just New York bands, by the way. I'm talking about everyone in any state that I feature. If you are a band that's featured on the podcast, you need my help, let me know. I'll be more than happy to shout it out for you. Now, for all of my first-time listeners, it is an absolute pleasure to officially welcome you to the Face to Music family. I hope you like what you hear. Make sure that you go check out all the other great episodes of the Face to Music podcast. You've got a lot of catching up to do, guys, but I'm glad you're here. And when you're listening, it's our time really just to hang out together and forget about all the insanity of life. Let's forget about like all the negativity, all the bullshit that's out there. There is no politics here. There's no stress. There's no worry. I'm just here to talk with you guys about all things hard rock and metal music. Expose you to some great new music, including at least 3 independent unsigned artists every single week, and bring you some fun and entertaining discussions from artists that you might know and love. So far, I've done Chris Contos of Machine Head and Forbidden, and Jason Bittner of Shadows Fall in Category 7, to artists that you may not know yet, but they definitely deserve your attention. Thank you for tuning in, and I sincerely hope you enjoy the experience. Now, for all my returning listeners, welcome back, my friends. Thank you for listening week after week after week. Thank you for joining me once again on another episode of the Face of Music podcast. Much love to all of you, and I'm so thankful and so lucky to have your support. Big shout outs to Dead Within Days, Gavel Down, Riff Haven Audio, Moon Groove Records, Oceanside, Gunther, Rob Moon, Mike Mars, Resist the Temptation, and my good friend Sam from Bleed the Gods and Cross Island Connect for legitimately always sharing shit up every single week. I see you. You guys are incredible, and thank you so much. If you want to see your name added to that list, it's real easy. Share my posts and tag me in them, and I will make sure that you're shouted out on the next one. It really is that simple, guys. I'll be honest with you all. If you're listening right now, you're already doing the one thing that I want everybody to do, which is listening to the podcast. Now, I'm sure that you're sitting there thinking to yourself, man, this podcast is awesome. How can I help it grow, though? Well, it's so funny that you should ask. Here's 3 quick, easy, and free ways that you can help. Number 1, follow the podcast and listen every week. If you're hearing this, you're already doing this. This is the time-consuming part. This is what I would consider to be the hard part. Number 2, follow the Instagram and Facebook pages. Comment on posts. If there's a poll, throw your 2 cents in there. This may be my podcast, but this is our community. And I like including you guys. I like hearing what you have to say. We're building this thing together. Your voices matter to me. And number 3, just share the page. Share a post. If you're listening right now, you know somebody else who would also enjoy. So spread the word and tell them what's up. I feature signed and independent bands every week from all over the world. You or someone you know could find your new favorite band right here. I only promote the bands that I feel truly bring something to the table, something that's truly worth paying attention to. So I promise that I'm not going to waste any of your time. I hope you found some great bands to listen to because of this podcast. I know that I sure have. Now, for anyone who may be thinking, Matt, is there another way I could support? Do you have any merch? Again, amazing question, really. I do have shirts and official Face the Music podcast bottle opener keychains for sale. Keychains are $3 and shirts are $12. So hit me up on Instagram or email me if you want to buy. I have Zelle, I have Venmo. If you're local, I could do cash. If I gotta ship though, there's gonna be extra, price in there for shipping too, unfortunately, but I can't avoid that. But if you come to a Face the Music event, I'll always have stuff on the table as well. If you do happen to be at a Face the Music event, like, let's say, November 15th at Shakers, there will be a new flavor of hot sauce on the table, too. Now, I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. However, it was a fan favorite from a few years ago, so make sure you grab a bottle while they last. It will absolutely sell out that night. I promise you that. My friends, are you ready for the week 29 top 10? Let's get into it. If you've been here for a while, you know the drill by now, but if you're new, here's the rundown on how this works. If you're watching this on Spotify, you're going to hear all the songs in the top 10 as intended. Unfortunately, if you're watching this on YouTube, I usually cut the song clips out because they get instantly flagged during uploading. So if you are watching this on YouTube, I apologize. The clips for the top 10 won't be featured. If you're currently playing this and the clips are there, just know that it's because I ran into hours and hours of tech issues and I just rolled the dice and said, fuck it. There's nothing I could do about getting flagged on YouTube until they fix their licensing system. But yeah, if you want to experience the show as intended, go check it out on Spotify for sure. You can still listen to the full songs on the Face Music Top 10s playlist over on Spotify as well. The code is going to be at the end of the top 10, and it's also in the link that's on my socials. 29 weeks in, and that puts us at an even 300 songs. That is 20 hours of carefully curated, fantastic hard rock and metal music for you to enjoy. This week on the top 10, we will be hearing from I Prevail, Cry Blood, Between the Buried and Me, Dead featuring Chad Gray of Mudvayne. We have two really cool cover songs, one from the Halo Effect and the other from a supergroup consisting of Rick Hughes, Brad Gillis, Tommy Aldridge, and Rudy Sarzo. We also have Atlas at Hold, The Pretty Wild, Of Mice and Men, and Kill Baron. Kicking things off today at number 10, out of Las Vegas, Nevada, we have Face the Music Top 10 alums, the female metal duo The Pretty Wild. These two have been making tons of noise in the metal scene the last year or two. They've been bringing some truly ridiculous stuff to the scene, from songs that they put out on their own to songs that they've collaborated on, such as the song Kundalini, which they dropped earlier this year with the band Deadlands. These two are an unstoppable force in the metal world and show no signs of slowing down at all. Their debut album, 0 Point Genesis, comes out November 21st of this year. This is the brand new single off of this album. At number 10 this week, we have The Pretty Wild with Paradox. Number 9, out of Southfield, Michigan, also top 10 alums, we have metalcore band I Prevail. I Prevail just released their brand new album Violent Nature last week, and I'll be blunt with you guys, it was a 5 out of 10 for me. It wasn't great. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever heard, but it just didn't deliver as much as I would have hoped. There's a lot of radio rock on it. However, through all the generic stuff, there were a few standout tracks. Some really heavy ass kickers. I would say out of the 10 songs on the album, there were maybe 4 real honest ragers. This is the first album that the band released without second frontman Brian Burkheiser, so it's expected that they're going to be figuring things out and going through a little bit of growing pains. But this is also the first album where we see Eric take on what I will call a dominant amount of clean singing, along with guitarist Dylan Bowman at the helm of clean vocals as well. They didn't totally deviate away from the heavy stuff, which makes me happy because I found little nuggets of really great shit in this album, such as our number 9 song of week 29. Off of Violent Nature, this is I Prevail with NWO. Number 8. This is a particularly special one for me. I don't normally put covers on the countdown, but we've got 2 today that were so damn good that I couldn't leave them behind. The first one, we see a little bit of a supergroup. We see Rick Hughes of 80s metal band Sword, and that is not to be confused with the stoner metal band The Sword. Hughes partners with Brad Gillis from Night Ranger on guitar, bass legend Rudy Sarzo, and on drums the legendary Tommy Aldridge. This group does not have a name, as they go under, this is kind of like Rick Hughes' solo project that he's doing. So he announced this album, he's got a bunch of guest spots on it. It's really cool stuff. But something special about these guys playing together, for those who are not aware. This is the first time since Ozzy Osbourne's Diary of a Madman tour that Aldridge, Sarzo, and Gillis have played together. They also recorded Ozzy's live album Speak of the Devil together as well. Rick Hughes mentioned in an interview with Eddie Trunk that doing this collab is his tribute to The Who, one of his favorite bands, and a powerhouse cover from their Quadrophenia classic, which is our number 8 song this week. This is Rick Hughes featuring Brad Gillis, Tommy Aldridge, and Rudy Sarzo covering the Who classic and one of my personal favorite songs, The Real Me. At number 7 this week, we have another cover song. This one comes to us from the Halo Effect. The Halo Effect were featured all the way back on week 1 of the Face of Music podcast. Now, for those who are unaware of who the Halo Effect is, they came from, really, the whole band is former members of In Flames. So this 5-piece is Jesper Stromblund, Mikael Stane, Nicholas Englund, Peter Ewers, and Daniel Svensson. Last week, the Halo Effect announced that they'll be dropping a new 5-song covers EP on November 21st of this year. Now, in tandem with the release announcement, they released their second cover of this EP, the Wasp classic, I Wanna Be Somebody. The band is paying tribute to some of their favorites from Wasp to Danzig to Kent, but putting their own spin on the songs. Now, when I first listened to this cover, it was so completely different from the original that I found it basically unrecognizable until the chorus hit. And I mean that in the best possible way. I love it when bands take a song that everybody knows and spins it to sound like their own. It was a no-brainer to throw this one on the countdown this week. Wasp rules. They're one of the best heavy metal bands of all time, and the Halo Effect killed it with this cover. At number 7 this week, this is the Halo Effect covering the 1984 Wasp classic, I Wanna Be Somebody. Number 6 this week, out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, we have the metalcore band Atlas at Hold. The band was started up by a bunch of high school friends who share a passion for influences from Killswitch Engage to August Burns Red, from As I Lay Dying to Parkway Drive. This dual vocalist band started up a couple of years ago, back in 2023, and in 2024 released their self-titled EP. The band has released 3 singles this year ahead of their debut album, When Oceans Rise, that just came out August 8th of this year. Pay attention to this new band on the rise. They've got something very special. Very gifted songwriters, extremely talented musicians. Off of When Oceans Rise, our number 6 song of week 29 is Atlas at Hold, Immortalized. Coming in at number 5, out of California, we have metal crossover band Cryblood. The band has been around since 2022. They've been known to experiment in EDM, welcoming collaborations with EDM artists, and have even performed at EDC. The band has released a total of 9 songs through the last few years, but they have not yet released an EP or full-length album. But if you want to check them out, there is plenty of music for you to go out there and enjoy. These guys not only groove, but they're heavy. They've got a really cool vibe to their music, and I highly suggest giving them a listen. At number 5 this week, this is Coachella Valley, California band Cryblood with their latest single, Deep Cuts. Our number 4 song of week 29 comes to us from the band Dead. Dead is from Tempe, Arizona, has been around now for about 10 years. The band exploded onto the scene in 2016 when SiriusXM Octane picked up their debut radio single Anti-Everything. The band's debut album Misanthrope came out in 2017 and have released 2 more albums since then. 2021 School of Thought, and their latest album Resent just came out last Friday. The band continues to grow and still brings the heavy. Go see them this fall. They're on tour with In This Moment and Dayseeker. At number 4 this week, this track comes off of the brand new album Resent. This is Dead featuring Chad Gray of Mudvayne. Do you want Honest? Before we get into our top 3 songs of the week, let's just do a quick recap of our top 10 so far. At number 10, we had The Pretty Wild with Paradox. Number 9, we had I Prevail, NWO. Number 8, Rick Hughes, Brad Gillis, Rudy Sarzo, and Tommy Aldridge performing the Who classic The Real Me. Number 7, The Halo Effect covering Wasp, I Wanna Be Somebody. Number 6, Atlas at Hold, Immortalized. Number 5, Cryblood, Deep Cuts. And at number 4, we had Dead with You Want Honest featuring Chad Gray. Coming in at number 3 this week, we have Costa Mesa, California metalcore band Of Mice and Men. Of Mice and Men started in 2009 at the tail end of the mallcore scene. The band was formed by Austin Carlisle after leaving Attack Attack. Carlisle, due to health issues, ended up leaving the band in 2016, leaving Aaron Pauley to take over vocals as well as bass duties for the band. Of Mice and Men are also top 10 alums. They're one of the most consistent metal bands out there. I hope you all know who they are by now. They've been around for about 16 years, and they've grown to be one of the most dominant bands in the metal genre. At number 3 this week, we have their brand new single. This is Of Mice and Men off of their forthcoming album due out November 14th, entitled Another Miracle. This is Troubled Water. Number 2, the prog metal giants Between the Buried and Me are back. The band is currently on tour with Hail the Sun, Delta Sleep, and The World is a Beautiful Place and I'm No Longer Afraid to Die in support of their brand new album, The Blue Nowhere, which just came out September 12th. This is the band's first release since 2021's Colors 2. The band is celebrating their 25th anniversary this year, and this is also they just had the departure of Dusty Waring, their guitarist, of over 20 years, left the band this year. BT Bam decided to continue as a quartet after Dusty left, and The Blue Nowhere signals their first release as a 4-piece. If you have not checked out this album yet, please do yourself a favor and go listen. It's a fantastic album from start to finish, and all the elements of a great BT Bam album are there. Our number 2 song this week comes off of The Blue Nowhere. This is Between the Buried and Me, Things We Tell Ourselves in the Dark. And at number 1 this week, this is a band that I stumbled across on Facebook. It was recommended to me by the band's guitarist on a post that I had made seeking out unsigned bands. I was so consumed by this band's sound that I listened to everything that they had on Spotify twice over. Incredible metalcore sound, just huge melodies, tons of emotion. It was such a refreshing find to hear a young band put so much attention into their songwriting, into the production of their recordings, to have a vision and make sure it's heard in studio. They're really what I would call a diamond in the rough kind of band, and that's exactly why they're heading our top 10 this week. Hailing from Laurel, Maryland, the band just released their brand new EP, Fragments of My Former Self, which is the follow-up to their 2023 EP, Smile and Move On. This group has been around since 2022, and already they're shaking things up. Kill Baron are the real deal. They deserve your full attention. Please go check these guys out and give them a follow on their pages. Your number 1 song of week 29. This is Kill Baron off of their new EP, Fragments of My Former Self. This is the opening track for that EP. This is Growing Pains. You can check out the full songs on the Face of Music Top 10s playlist on Spotify by either searching or scanning the code that is on your screen now. Alright guys, let's talk about some upcoming shows. Just announced last week, a few weeks back we heard that we unfortunately lost Larry Foreman, who is a friend and legend of the Long Island music scene. The one common thing that so many people said when Larry passed away was the tribute show for Larry is going to be legendary. Well, that show is taking place this Sunday, September 28th, 2025, at Shaker's Pub in Oakdale, New York. We officially have the Larry Foreman tribute show. This will be running from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. It goes all afternoon, and it is free of charge. However, please consider grabbing Jackpipe shirts and stuff if you see them for sale. Jackpipe will be performing with some special guests. It hasn't been said, but without Larry, I don't know how much more Jackpipe we're going to get. So don't miss your chance to go see these incredibly heavy and funny songs performed live. Potentially one last time. I hope that's not the case, but it's understandable if it is. Larry, we miss you, brother, and I hope Shakers has plenty of beer. I will see all of you Sunday. October 11th, 2025, at City Sound Studios in Ronkonkoma, New York. Horror metal band Uchikatsu takes the stage, featuring the highly anticipated return of the Stitched Up. Also playing would be Take the Flame, Gas Leak, and Letters to Milena. 6:30 show, $18 to get in. It's an all ages show, but there will be no alcohol at this event. Please be respectful of this. Don't be a dickhead. Just abide by the rules, guys. We are losing more and more venues all the time. We can't afford to lose more. So please play by the rules. Next up, every year, 3 bands put on their annual Monster Mosh Halloween show. The bands are all friends of the Face the Music podcast. We have Resist the Temptation, Dead Within Days, and Pathmaker. Every year, same location, Polish American Independent Club in Port Jeff, New York. This year, they have Terrigenous opening the show. Both Resist the Temptation and Dead Within Days are releasing EPs at this show. Pathmaker is going to headline that night. Tickets are $20, and each band performs a full set. They usually throw a few covers in there. Costumes are heavily encouraged. This is a Halloween-themed show. There will be a costume contest, and it takes place November 1st, 2025, which is a Saturday night. So, no excuses. This event will most likely sell out, so do not wait. As I've heard, a couple of the bands are already down to their final few tickets, so if you plan on going, make the move now. Don't wait. Contact the bands directly to buy tickets, and with admission you also get all non-alcoholic beverages included for the night. Show starts at 7 o'clock, and I will see you guys at this one too. Now, I hope you guys are ready for this one. This is a big event for the podcast. For fans of Linkin Park, this is for you. This is a show that's going to be a part of a Linkin Park roundtable discussion that's going to be airing in December. The roundtable will not be like every other episode of the podcast. So the format's going to be very different from what we're doing today. It's going to be a very special episode. It's going to be me and a few guests. I'm going to aim for probably 10 people to be on that show, where we're just going to discuss the career and the impact of the band and, of course, the late, great Chester Bennington. The roundtable date will be announced once all the participants are selected. To coincide with this is where it gets really cool for me. I'm proud to tell you that on Saturday, November 15th at Shaker's Pub in Oakdale, New York, I'm going to be making my return to the stage for the first time since March 1st of 2020. It has been over 5 years since I've played live. So this will be my first show back, and I will be bringing Project Zero to the stage, which I'm very happy to do. And I have a great group of guys that are going to be hopping on stage with me. I have Tom Gallagher and Joe DeMeo from Soul Searcher on vocals and bass. I have Dylan Frantine from Resist the Temptation on rhythm guitar. I have Alec Rogers, formerly of The Unpermitted, behind the kit. Alex Krause of The Stitched Up is going to be rapping, and Mr. Travis Parker is going to be doing our samples and DJing that night. We will be paying tribute to a band that has had a massive impact on all of us as Project Zero, paying homage to the band's beginnings as Zero before they were Linkin Park, and Project Revolution, which was the legendary touring festival that they toured on multiple times through their career. Joining us on stage November 15th at Shakers, we have my friends and show alumni skate punk pop punk band Oceanside. We have new / alt metal band Rominer, and making their return to the stage after years away, after releasing their incredible new album Hearts Run Dark, also friends and podcast alumni Gavel Down is on the show. Tickets for this event are $15. They're going to be bought at the door. There is no pre-sale, so don't worry about hitting anyone up for tickets. Just go to the door on the 15th. You can buy there. Doors are going to be open at 6, and the first band goes on at 7 p.m. Project Zero will also be filming our entire set, and the whole performance will be featured in the Roundtable episode of the podcast, which will be airing in December. So again, November 15th at Shaker's Pub, $15 at the door. Show starts at 7. Make sure you get there early and stay till the end of the show. It's not going to be a late night, guys. We're not asking you for much here. It'll be wrapped up by 11 o'clock at night. Probably much sooner. This is going to be a big one for me, though, guys. Like I said, I haven't played in over 5 years, and I would personally love it if everyone could come out and reciprocate some of the support that I show so many people doing the Face to Music podcast. If you are interested in being a part of that roundtable discussion, please email me at theftmpod@gmail.com with Linkin Park in the subject line. Now, just a warning, I cannot take everybody, and I cannot do Zoom calls for this one. But I will find a way to include everybody who wants to be included. So please, I'm asking you, please don't be mad or upset with me if you're not picked for the in-person. It's purely just due to the amount of space that I have available. Just a moment ago, I mentioned Gavel Down. And for those who don't know, the band's lead guitarist, Dan, also runs the recording studio Riff Haven Audio. Just today, Dan announced that he's starting a podcast pertaining to the recording industry, to helping bands grow by sharing his experiences in the live music world and his experiences from being in a band. It's going to be really good. I'm so excited for Dan. He's a good friend of mine, and I'm happy to tell you that all of this is coming out Tuesday. His first episode will be out this coming Tuesday. So please go check it out. Congrats, Dan. I can't wait to see what you got working, and welcome to podcasting, my friend. So, a few things that I wanted to touch on in news today. Let's get the fun stuff out of the way first. We saw both Riot Fest and Louder Than Life take place recently, and there were a few really cool moments that went down, so I just wanted to highlight some of that for you guys. Now, let's start with Riot Fest. Riot Fest was held in Chicago, and fans in attendance got to witness some really cool moments. Matt Skiba hopped on stage with Blink-182 for the first time since handing Tom the reins back. The band The Academy Is just announced their first album in 17 years and played 2 brand new songs for the crowd. There was also a crossover that literally nobody asked for, no one saw coming. The pop band Hanson, yes, the Mbop band, took the stage and ended up inviting Stephen Egerton of the Descendants to join them on stage and played the Descendants track Hope. And finally, following a long list of demands, Riot Fest checked off an extensive list, including getting a tattoo, a pizzeria naming a pie, Nobody Stares at the Hair. John Stamos made his Riot Fest debut with the Beach Boys. I hope the tattoo is worth it, dude. That's all I gotta say about that. Now, on to Louder Than Life. First up, it was a huge weekend for the band Knocked Loose. This was a massive homecoming for the band. They played on day 4 of the festival, but they were one of the most talked about acts of the entire weekend. They also played Riot Fest and played with Slayer in Pennsylvania the Friday and Saturday before their set. So these guys were busy as hell all weekend. Next, Sleep Token fans prove yet again that they could be the most passionate, but also the biggest pains in the ass. An estimated 21,000 people packed in to see the band perform their Friday night set at the festival, which is incredible. But the fans towards the front of the stage were also causing issues for other concert goers, such as purposely dropping crowd surfers, calling security to throw crowd surfers out, causing lots of issues for people trying to enjoy the show the way the GA experience is supposed to be enjoyed. Now, I've said it before, and I will say it again. Sleep Token fans are the worst part about this band. Guys, don't go to a metal show if you can't handle metal crowds, or if you do go, stand in the back. At least stand behind the pit. You can't get mad at people for moshing or crowd surfing. That's the culture. They paid the same money as you, and this is the culture. You're new here. If it ain't for you, just move to the back a little bit and you'll still be able to see everything fine. But dropping someone who's crowd surfing on purpose is a shitbag move. It's disgusting that was even a thing that had to take place. And it happened more than once, and that's the worst part, is that people were doing this on purpose with multiple people. People can get severely hurt if you push them down in a pit or if you drop them while they're crowd surfing. Like, just do the right thing. It's 2 seconds of your time to just pass someone over your head. Yeah, maybe not be the most fun thing all the time, but it's a part of the culture, and it is what it is. It ain't stopping anytime soon. But regardless of their fan base, I will say Sleep Token is one of the hottest bands in the world right now. They're currently on a fully sold out arena tour, so kudos to the band for all the success. Next up from the festival, anybody who has followed the career of Evanescence at least a little bit knows the song Bring Me to Life, and you know the contention that took place over Paul McCoy's part in the song. How Amy Lee didn't want a rapper, but the label insisted, and she gave in because she basically had to. Amy, through the years, has voiced her displeasure for this and revamped the song to what she originally had planned it to be, which went over well with the diehards, but there is no denying that Paul's rap and screams were not only iconic, but they made the song become what it was. Now, through years of Amy throwing shade at it, Louder Than Life last weekend, Evanescence welcomed Paul McCoy back on stage to perform the classic song as we all know and love it. This was a massive moment, and the energy between Amy and Paul was electric. Such a cool thing to see watching the video, and everyone in attendance had to have been so hyped for that moment. The next thing I want to touch on, guys, as music lovers, I feel as though we can all agree through the last 5 years, especially post-COVID, we really aren't going to as many concerts as we used to as a whole. Some people live at concert venues. I know that. I don't know what you guys do for money, but hey, cue me in because I'd like to fucking go to some. But who's got the money for this shit anymore? Really? Going to a concert used to be a pretty affordable thing to go to. You spend maybe $80. You're sitting pretty close to the stage. Never really more than 200 tops to sit as close as possible, right? Festivals used to be cheap. Club shows never really used to cost a lot. But now we're seeing club shows start at $80 to $100. To go to an amphitheater, you need to put concert tickets on Klarna or Affirm and pay it off over time. Forget about a fucking arena or a stadium. Prices have been surging, and so have the fees associated with buying tickets. It's crazy to think that a concert is considered to be a luxury experience. I won't even get into amenities at concessions at concerts right now, but I will bring this up because Livenation CEO Michael Rapino claims that ticket prices should cost more than what we're paying now. More. He says concert tickets are underpriced and have been for a long time. stating that live music experiences are underappreciated, comparing concert tickets to sporting events. He's quoted saying, "In sports, I joke like it's a badge of honor to spend $70,000 for Knicks courtside. When you read about ticket prices going up, it's still an average concert price of $72. Try going to a Lakers game for that." He continues saying, "They beat me up if we charge $800 for Beyonce. The concert is underpriced and has been for a long time." He claims that rising ticket prices are due to an investment in the experience, but says there should still be a lot of runway left for increase. Due to pollster data, the average ticket prices are up over 20% since 2023, putting a ticket for a show on average at about $130. I don't know about you all, but there are very few bands that I'm willing to pay that kind of money to go see. Metallica being one of them, Trans-Siberian Orchestra being another, and that one is really just because it's tradition for me and my wife. We go every year. But, I mean, it's nothing that we usually have to break the bank for, but $130 once a year as a Christmas gift to each other, fine, I can make the exception for that. But it doesn't make me happy about spending it. I know the show will be worth it for the seats that I'm getting, but will I ever consider paying $100 to go see a band like Sevendust or Korn, Judas Priest? Absolutely not. No shot. As much as I love those bands, the value is not there for me. And knowing that those prices not only can go up, but from the sounds of things, will go up. Concerts are really not looking to be for the average working class person anymore. All the Beyoncés and Taylor Swifts out there charging $10,000 for tickets, all the absolute assholes that are paying the prices for them, that's the fucking problem. If you pay it, they get away with charging it. The fees? I've gotten used to the fact that there'll be ridiculous and outrageous fees charged with ticket purchases, but higher ticket prices means higher tax. Higher tax also means higher fees. I'm sorry to say it, but where's the benefit for fans anymore? The concert experience begins with at least $100. After fees, you're probably sitting close to $140. Not unfair. In terms of math anyway, it's bullshit for us paying it, but then you get inside the venue. And if you're hungry or you're thirsty, that's minimally another $50. If you want a shirt, that's another $50 to $75. So now your $140 after taxes and fees, your investment in entertainment has now turned into an almost $300 investment for an afternoon. For one night. Really, that's all it comes down to is a couple hours. Not including if you have to pay for parking, which some venues will charge you almost $100 for that too. The industry is bleeding us dry. Now, this is a music podcast. This is extremely relevant information for us, and I just want to give everyone something to think about. Make sure you know how you're impacting the concert-going experience when you're willing to give hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for a concert ticket, and that if what you're currently paying is too expensive, don't buy it. What are your thoughts on this, guys? Let me know. I want to know what you're thinking too. Sound off in the comments. Our special guest today is a founding member of New York thrash band Electrocutioner. The band is ruthless. They are loud, they're aggressive, and they are here to kick your ass. Thrash has remained such an underground subgenre, but these guys really absolutely have what it takes to break that mold. One of the best thrash bands I've heard in a long, long time. Everybody, please welcome to the show, Mark of Electrocutioner. So, welcome to the show.
Yeah, bro, thanks again.
Congratulations on Harbinger.
Yeah, I'm proud of it. I think it's pretty damn good, for what we do. I think it's pretty damn sick.
Yeah, man, it turned out amazing, honestly. Really, really good quality, great songwriting.
overall, it was fantastic, man. So kudos to you guys. I
Yeah.
know that you guys have been like killing yourselves in the studio working on it. So
Yeah, that was the most part, just doing all the studio work and trying to be a little more professional.
yeah.
So that's the
Um,
thing.
but it did land you guys. I mean, before it even came out, you guys had signed a deal, right? You have a distribution deal?
Well, yeah, it's the label. It's like the label is basically the distributor too. So they're
Mm,
pretty cool. They handle they get the bulk of the copies and they ship it out to whether Canada or Europe or, once we sell, we pretty much already sold out. I think we only have like 15 copies left.
damn, dude. Congrats again. That's huge.
Yeah, it's helpful for sure.
Who is your label?
CDN Records in Canada. They're the oldest independent metal label in Canada. I think they've been around since like 91.
Wow,
Like
that's
death
awesome.
metal, stuff like that. They have a few thrash bands they're starting to kind of pick up. I think that's the deal now.
Yeah. Thrash, I feel like is kind of making a comeback. It
Yeah,
was
you know, it comes and goes, and it's like I don't really like the stuff that, anytime thrash gets popular nowadays, it's like I don't really like the style that's popular. It's like
right.
more the hardcore-esque, power trip type stuff,
Yeah.
or like the party type stuff. But yeah, it's definitely there's a lot of younger kids, I think, around America who are playing it. Like there's a lot of scenes in like Texas and California. So I think like a lot of the younger kids are playing more of an old school style. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you were at the Prong show, right?
Yeah,
At
yeah.
AMH. Did you catch Rebar?
No, they
No?
went on. It was on. It's like, are we recording right now? I wasn't sure.
Yeah, yeah, we're recording.
Oh, I wasn't sure if this was part of the podcast. Oh, we're just bullshit. My bad.
No, that's all the podcast is, man. We just talk.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I didn't catch him. I wanted to. I think they went on at like 6:15 or something like that. And
Yeah.
I don't know, too many opening bands. I tried to get there. I've been meaning to. I don't know. Did I catch them? No, I don't think I've ran into them and talked to them a few times, but I never caught them live.
They blew me away, man. They sounded like old school, like 1982 thrash. It was good for a bunch of kids. It was really good.
Yeah, young college kids, right?
Yeah. I think they have to be maybe 21.
Oh wow.
But
Yeah, man, that's cool. We need some more stuff like that on Long Island.
yeah, we do. There's a lot of things that this island needs, man. Like I yesterday I put out a post looking for like if there's a Long Island new metal band.
Hmm.
It just doesn't exist out here. It's either like death metal or metalcore with
Yeah,
the
like hardcore, right?
with the occasional thrash sprinkled in there. But yeah, it's few and far between. The scene has changed so much in the last few years. It's kind of hard to keep up with it.
Yeah, I don't, luckily I don't want to be negative, man, but I'm not into any of that kind of crap. So like the Long Island scene is just, it's cool though. A lot of young kids are into it. It's just, I'm not like
Yeah.
this. It's just not my thing, dude. Like
Hmm.
I like old school thrash metal and speed metal or
Yeah.
traditional heavy metal. Death metal obviously is great on Long Island. Can't hate on that. But like, I'm not into the whole metal core and core this, core that. I
Yeah.
don't care for it.
I think the thrash scene is bigger in like Queens, Brooklyn, New York City, right?
I mean, honestly, we're probably like the only old school thrash band in the state for the most part, honestly, at this
Wow.
point. I mean, there's a lot of crossover bands, but yeah, the scene itself for like the fans. Yeah, we played we basically just sold out Lucky 13 last week for the record release show. It was just
Oh, damn,
insanity.
dude.
Yeah, just insanity. So Brooklyn and Queens definitely get more of a violent reception over there, and there's more
Yeah.
diehards.
That's awesome. Lucky, I love that place, man. Great bar,
On time.
great music venue, and I haven't been there since they blew out the stage, but
Oh,
everything I see, it looks incredible there.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, man, dude. Lucky's great, and it's one of the I try to book my own shows too because, like you said,
yeah,
it's really like I was saying, there's not much of a thrash and speed scene here. So usually, if
yeah,
I'm like trying to, take it up a notch, not just playing with local bands, that's what we're trying to do is take it up a notch, play some bigger bands.
hmm
I got to either bring them in or bring them in on a part of the tour, and like Lucky and a few other places are one of the only places that'll allow someone just outside to book the show. It's not like. Even Long Island, I can't even book anymore. It's tough. Everything's like either a professional promoter,
yeah,
more money, more problems for these guys.
yeah, basically, dude. Long Island, I mean, if you know the right people, it's pretty easy to get on a show. Um, Cross Island Connect is great. Moon Groove Records is great. They do a lot of work with the community without like charging an arm and a leg to host a show or really kind of putting one behind the band's backs.
Yeah.
But those are two people I trust. So shout out Sam and shout out Tom Gallagher from Moon Groove because they really do make it about the scene more than about themselves, which is a
Yeah, I
huge
think I saw your
plus.
episode on or some of it I think like the festival they had, right? It was like
Yeah, yeah.
MGR Fest, right? I think it was cool.
hmm
Yeah.
Huge success, dude.
That's awesome.
I was telling Tom if he needs a band for next year to take a look at you guys because he's looking to do heavier stuff next year and kind of make it more diverse than it was already. But
Yeah,
this
it's
year I
pretty
had
diverse, right? Yeah.
yeah, man, everything from like I would say basically almost deathcore to like skate punk.
Hmm.
So it's pretty broad spectrum, but like every single band had a crowd. Everyone just shifted from one stage to the other. It was great.
Sometimes playing with a diverse bill is cool because like kind of either everybody stands out or you can kind of play to a different audience who doesn't know what to expect, or
Yep.
if you're a punk band playing to a metal crowd or a metal band playing to a punk crowd, sometimes you can win over people. Not that they're like more open-minded, but it's like you instantly stand out more, and people like all different types of genres, so it's kind of a
Yeah.
sweet treat. On Long Island, you don't get a lot of that crossover though. Like hardcore shows are just hardcore, death metal is
Yeah.
just metal. Kind of how it is here, you know.
That was the point of the show is
Yeah.
to really broaden horizons and say like there's something for everybody. No one has a reason to say I don't like the music that day, you know. Um, but yeah, it was a hell of an event.
Sick,
Which,
man.
yeah, I'm already looking forward to next year. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
That's how you know it's good. Yeah, if you're looking
Yeah,
forward to.
man. So with you guys now, I know Tyler's side of stuff, and you know we touched on Electrocutioner a little bit when he was on the show, but I haven't actually formally gotten to talk to you.
Yeah.
I know we met, I think at Megadeth and Mudvayne last summer, um,
Yeah, wow.
but super quick. You know, it wasn't
Yeah,
like
I think it
a
was tailgating or something, right?
yeah.
I don't remember it then.
Neither did Tyler.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Um, but yeah, man. So let's go into the background of Electrocutioner a little bit. Um, how long have you been doing this?
I'd say Electrocutioner, I think it was late 2020, I think. Definitely during the pandemic, maybe probably late 2020, maybe November or something like that.
Hmm.
Um, I had originally put a call to an old drummer of mine. I was just bored. And we used to be like an old kind of crossover thrash, hardcore, New York hardcore type band. And I was like, oh, we should just do a reunion. And then when that didn't come to pass, we jammed out. I was like, dude, let's just start an old school thrash band.
Mhm.
I had known him for a long time. Let's just start something, and that's all it was, man. And then snowballed from there, dude.
That's very cool, man. And I didn't realize that you were that new. You know, about 4 or 5 years in. That's pretty new, I would say.
Yeah, and I honestly like to even tell we kind of start with Tyler. That's kind of like,
Yeah.
although we put out EPs and stuff like that, like they're
hmm
really just basically kind of the ideas are there, but they're kind of just like, demos with, finding out the sound. My vocals were awful and it was kind of like we probably shouldn't have put stuff out because we were kind of still figuring out our sound. So,
Right.
especially with the new album. The new album is basically the culmination of everything. Like we finally crystallized it. But yeah, when we put out I think two EPs and that was kind of like, yeah, just kind of demoing and testing out the water really, honestly.
Mhm. Um, I mean, that's what you got to do though. Unfortunately, even if it sounds not to the way you want it to, getting music out there and getting that exposure early only builds your audience. So
Yeah.
it's smart doing that, you know. A lot of bands I'm seeing will start by doing that, and then once they have their actual polished product out, clean everything off of like their Spotify or streaming, whatever, as if they never existed before this
Yeah.
album. And
Like Pantera.
yeah. Um, I think it's cool to hear where a band comes from, though. I always like going back and listening to the old stuff to see how it
Yeah.
evolved, you know. It's a cool experience. If you
Yeah, no,
listen
I
to, go ahead.
no, we can finish your thought.
I was gonna say if you go back and listen to like the old school like Metallica demos, it sounds nothing like how it is today, or Slipknot, or whatever band really. So it's cool to hear the evolution through time.
Yeah, and I kind of agree with you. Originally when we started, I was kind of like, I want to just get something out. Like, let's just get something out. Let's just get
Hmm.
something out. Because I'm a firm believer that most people like I don't dilly-dally, dude. I like to just get stuff done. And a
Yeah.
lot of people, especially musicians, man, they can be flakes. And so sometimes when we originally started the band, the goal was just like, let's just get it out because I feel like it was either release something like unpolished, like a demo, or we probably would just never have released something because we would have waiting forever. We don't have any money to record an album, so sometimes I think that helps kind of get the momentum going. Get a little fan, get a little buzz. But it's got its pros and its cons. But like you said, yeah, it's interesting to track the progression of a band. I always say too, it's like there's so many great bands which kind of like have bad first albums, or there's so many bands that didn't really kind of become great until their second or third album, so it's probably interesting, like
Right.
Motorhead's first album's kind of weird, so it's interesting to kind of hear that type of stuff and how someone progresses.
Yeah, I think that kind of going back to what you were saying, like the early stuff, it has an important role in the band's future. And it does like it gets your name out there, it gets people familiar with what they can expect. It allows more vulnerability for shows because once in a fucking while, you'll actually have a promoter do their homework and say, "I'll check this band out before I book them." Doesn't happen often, but it does open doors for you. So
Yeah,
it's good.
yeah, that's what it's all about. Eventually, you just want to make the music's got to become real. You got to play it in the flesh.
Yeah, absolutely. And it does help the live show too because it gives people something to remember and go home and listen to.
Yeah, and
So
look forward to it, and building your relationships with your fans. I hate the word fan, dude. I never say it, but like your listeners, you like it. They're just becoming your friends at this point. It's like a
yeah,
little army that has your back.
exactly, man. Um, yeah, I've known a lot of people like that through the years that they're like, don't call them fans. Like they're not fans. They show up to shows. They're cool people.
Yeah,
I totally get that. You
I
know.
hate it. I think it's weird. I think it's weird, man. Like I know we all know what you mean if you're a fan of music, but it's like
Yeah,
we're no different. Like you're not over there. I'm not up here and you're down there. I am more of the punk rock mentality with that type of stuff. Like I hate the whole rock star mentality, and
yeah,
not that there's any of that really in thrash metal, but there are certain bands that are trying to project themselves as like larger than life, and I
of
hate that.
course.
I hate it. I think it's so fake, man.
It is fake. It's a
I
part of the
dude,
show, dude. It's like people always want to pretend to be something that they're not, you know? And if you're on a smaller level and you're fucking big leaguing people, you're just a dick, you know? There's so many bands that like they I had I had Oceanside on 2 weeks ago, and
Mhm.
their drummer was telling me a story about how he went to go see Falling in Reverse when he was like 14 years old. And he called out to him. He saw him walking around, and the drummer flipped him off. And I'm like, see, there's no reason for that. Don't be a fucking asshole. He's a kid, you know.
Yeah,
Um, it's like don't be that kind of asshole to somebody just because they recognize you. Like, be a human being. Go over to the kid and hype him up a little bit.
yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, I don't, it's actually like it's a stupid conversation. It's like at the end of the day, it's like how you treat it's just how you're treating people. It doesn't matter if you're at
Right.
work or on the street or you're in a band. Well, why would you treat someone poorly?
Hmm.
Simple
Yeah, it
as
makes no
that.
sense, man.
Simple as that.
To go out of your way to be an asshole to somebody, man. It's just
But,
like,
the success does get to, people's heads. Like, I mean,
yeah,
look, every musician's had a sick show and you get off stage and you're like walking around thinking you're the man. It's like, dude, you got to delete that idea
yep.
immediately. You can't let people like you can't let your ego. There should be zero ego. And at the end of the day, you should always think you're no. I always tell everybody it doesn't matter. Like, oh, if we have 100 listeners or 4,000, dude, we're nobodies. Nobody knows who we are. So like, you might as well just act like your normal self because there's no reason to act like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Even big bands, Megadeth's basic. They're in the grand scheme of life, they're a nobody in the sense that like, of course they're successful, but like, we're just playing metal music, dude. We're not,
Hmm.
we're not curing cancer out there. At the end of the day, this is,
Right.
it is important. It's art and shit, but it's like, dude, like. what's all the theatrics and the ego? Like, get rid of that, you know?
Hmm. Exactly. Yeah, it really doesn't serve much of a purpose in the long run if you think about it that way, you know? It's like you're here to make some music and people are gonna go pay to see you live and have fun and buy your shit and
Yeah.
they're doing you the service. The least you could do is be a decent human being to them and just say thank you, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Someone asked me in an interview about like, people with stage fright or something like that. And I never got it. Like I get excited, but I'm not judging people who get it. But I always say like, at the end of the day, dude, you're making people pay to come
Hmm.
see you play. Like, too bad if you're nervous. You gotta go all out, dude.
Yep.
You gotta just deal with it. My cat might jump right in front of the camera in a second. Sorry. Somebody. Let me move this. Come here, bro. He's knocking the screen over. Sorry. Get out of here, buddy. Sorry, man.
No, you're
That's
good, man.
he's coming back. All right, don't worry. I'll move him.
It's all right.
Hopefully he doesn't hit the escape button. We're good though.
Um, yeah, man. Like stage fright, I get. I totally understand that shit. Nerves are there, but you can't let it get the best of you. And it kind of disappears once you hear yourself play that first note anyway. You know,
Yeah,
I've never seen someone have it so bad that they can't actually get through a performance.
yeah, that might be. I'm just nervous. This guy's gonna step on the keyboard. Steal, chill out. Let me move this guy. Steal, come on, see you later. Um, yeah, I don't know if that's more like like a Juilliard type of musician where they're.
Mm,
I can understand, dude, if I had to play, Bach or Mozart suites like
right.
that. And you gotta remember that's unforgiving. It's really supposed to be perfect. Where you can if you mess up at a live metal show or a punk show, no
Yeah.
one's giving you feedback on that. So I can understand that. But at the end of the day, dude, you should be excited to do this.
Hmm.
Why would you be nervous?
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, unless you really shit the bed at a show, no one's gonna say anything. And the odds of them actually saying it to you are slim and none,
Yeah,
you
and who
know?
cares? We've all had train wrecks. You have a train wreck, you have a train wreck. That's you just
Yeah.
got, and it's a terrible feeling. But that feeling should stay with you. Like, oh, I will never have that again. Like that, it'll eat you up inside.
Yep.
You
Yeah,
just got to deal with it.
that's one of the worst feelings, dude.
It is.
When you go on stage and just take a steamer for 30 minutes, it's like there's no coming back, there's no recovering. It just you
Break a
ate it.
string. Yeah,
Yeah, oh man.
break a
I
string.
I had my old band's album release show at Even Flow in Bayshore in like
Oh, damn, yeah.
2016 or 2017.
Wow, even
Um, it might have even been earlier than that, but um, I had Floyd Rose everything. So I had one ESP set up in drop B. I
geez.
had one Schecter set up in drop C sharp. Only brought two guitars, no backups.
Two guitars. You should be good.
Four songs in, I snap a string on the Floyd, and I still need that for more than half the set.
Jeez, man.
So I'm scrambling. I can't use the other guitar because that's already set up. So I have to use someone else's guitar and tune that down. And
Yeah.
like we thankfully the rest of the guys like were able to think on their feet for that one while I'm like retuning this guitar and shit. But dude, from that point forward, I never didn't have a backup.
Yeah, I still sometimes don't bring it back up. I feel like sometimes that'll put it out in the air, I feel like,
Yeah.
so I don't know, man. I've broken a few. Sometimes you got to play with the strings though, too, man. I've been,
Yeah.
switching up. I got rid of the Diodarios. I know we're from Long Island. I'm done with them. I feel like they broke all the time. And I started using that Dunlop, like that string oil, but right before I play, I seem like
Hmm.
that kind of helps, I think.
Yeah, D'Addario, man, I checked out on them a long time ago. Like a really
Yeah.
long time ago. For the same reason. Every single time I was playing them, they would snap.
Yeah.
I had the same problem with NYXL for a little bit.
That's,
Shit kept
that's the
fucking
one.
breaking on
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Yeah. And those are the
I
expensive ones.
Yeah, they're like fucking $14 a pack. I'm
Yeah,
like, yo,
man.
these should never break for that much money. But I
Yes,
settled
you're
on
not
like,
getting sponsored by Dario anytime soon, dude. This podcast.
hey man,
Take it all
probably
back. They're great strings. We love them.
not. Yeah. Ernie Ball though, man. I settled on Ernie Ball.
Nice. Yeah, I've been using I use GHF boomers now.
I have them too
Yeah.
on one of my guitars. I've
Yeah.
also went to Elixir for one of my guitars. Those are nice. They're coated, so they don't really have like that grit. Um,
Mm.
but they play real nice. They're really smooth strings. So
Mm. I'm not like a gear or technical guy. I
I'm
like
not much of one either, but
yeah. I won't even dabble in I don't I as soon as someone talks to me about stuff like that where they're like, have you tried this? I'm like, dude, I've never tried anything new. Like I as long as it works. I don't play with reverb. I'm like, dude, I don't want anything. You know what I'm saying? I want to plug in and play. I don't even care what it sounds like. You know? I like the challenge, you know?
yeah. So the only thing I'll ask you about gear
No, you
is
can ask me about gear. It's fine. I'm just saying. I'm not one who's
what
keeping up with the newest models. I'm like, I have no idea, dude. I buy all my guitars. I think I read it years ago. Trey from Morbid Angel.
mhm.
And he bought all his guitars off eBay. And I was like, dude, that's what I do. So that's if it's good for him, he's one of the gnarliest guitar players ever. I'm like, I'm doing something right. I'm gonna keep doing it too. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? How could you go
Yeah.
wrong?
eBay and Reverb, all that kind of shit.
Not even reverb. That's too nice,
No?
dude. It's got to be. The guitar I play now, I always tell people it came with grass in the pickups. The guy just had it in a shed for 20 years,
Oh my
just
God.
fucking grass and leaves in the pickups. It was amazing. It's the best guitar.
Jesus.
So fucking awesome and terrible.
So what kind of guitars do you play?
So I play basically I've been pretty locked in on vintage Kramers.
Hmm.
I think they're perfect for me. I mean, I don't believe in people who think, oh, this guitar is better than the other. It's really like more of a personal thing, like your
Right.
hands. You know, like some neck shapes like they give you cramps for some sizes. What you're playing, dude. I've tried it all, and every brand, I'll lie to myself and be like, oh yeah, I love Jackson, and then I'm like, I fucking hate Jackson, you know. When we recorded the first album, dude, I couldn't believe it. I was just I
Hmm.
when I was telling the guy who repairs my guitars, I play pretty hard.
Yeah.
Um, and he like if I was just playing a power chord, it would go out of tune. It would just like the intonation would just go up because I was pressing it so hard. And
Right.
he's like, yeah, dude, they make those guys for like those speedster guys, like really light. I'm like, I don't.
Hmm.
So ever since I got these vintage Kramers, man, one's like I got a few of them, but they're workhorses. You know, make sure we mod them out so they're a little nicer on the inside, give them a nice polish up and a tune up and all that stuff. But I fucking love the old Kramers, man. I have an old SG that I love, but I need a whammy bar, you know.
Yeah.
So the old Kramers, they're just the best. I actually, and you can't even find them like the ones that I like. You can't find them. Like I'll look on Reverb or eBay, and
Yeah.
they so rarely pop up, and they're cheap though. Still, you get them like $400, dude.
Damn. Not bad.
Telling you, bro. You don't need that whole. You don't need to be buying expensive crap like that anymore. You know,
The $2,000 Majesty guitars and shit.
dude. You don't even. I mean, as long as the guitar plays, like if as long as the guitar plays good, what who cares how much it costs? You know.
Right. I don't have a single guitar right now that costs over $700.
Yeah, I
You know?
mean, and it really shouldn't nowadays. I mean, the problem is the quality control. So it's not like
Right.
you might get two of the same exact guitars, one's just better than the other. So you gotta put some fingers on it, make it yours, and dude, if it works, it works. You know,
Yeah.
simple as that. I think people overcomplicate it with this shit.
Yeah. For sure,
And they
man.
don't, you got to think how your hands playing. That really affects everything too.
Hmm.
And they put in a $3,000 amp and all these pedals. I'm like, why'd you, why'd you even test how the guitar sounded, dude? Like, you know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah, after you go crazy with like amp sims and shit, but what you're playing legitimately doesn't matter. I know someone
Yeah,
with a quad cortex, they have a drop tune on it. So
yeah.
if they're playing in drop D, they're also playing in drop A sharp, drop C. It doesn't matter. They as long as they have the
We
drop
actually
set up.
use the quad cortex, dude.
Yeah.
My bass is actually the opposite of me. He's a huge gear guy. Uh,
Mhm.
the quad cortex. The reason we use it though is because it's so small. And we
Yeah.
basically we share the same set, the pedal board. Um, I just use it for a tuner, bro. I don't even use reverb like I told you. But the thing that was sick though is actually we played in we did a run in the South this year of
Yeah.
actually we do Boston, then we did Richmond, North Carolina, South Carolina, and all the shows down south were like 105 degrees, no air conditioning, and it was just puddles of sweat. And then the last show, I broke a string the first song. I think it was all the sweat. But some guy was able to give me his guitar, and we just used the pitch shifter on it. So I was playing like a guitar in C, but we just put it up to E flat where we play. I was like, all right, well, this thing came in handy. Otherwise, we'd be screwed, you know?
You guys did that run during like the hot week this year, right? Like back in July?
Uh, was
Or
it?
was that a little
I
earlier?
think it was I think it was, yeah, I think it was like July 8th, 9th, 10th, something like that, or 10th, 11th, 12th. Yeah,
Mm,
it was, dude, it was incredibly hot. It was like 100 degrees.
yeah,
No, dude, they didn't even have fans in these venues. I couldn't believe it, you know?
that sucks, dude.
It
That
was insane.
sucks.
Yeah, I love the shows done. I love the scene in the South was much sicker, I thought, for what we play, you know?
Yeah,
Way cooler than up here for us. I mean, when we play, it's mostly like our dedicated horde of maniacs, but I'm sure if we just, just the people that were coming out was so much sicker. I think maybe because they have less shows down there,
yeah,
a lot of people will come out and kind of see anything, which is kind of sick as shit, I think,
yeah, for sure. The South, well, south of here anyway, and north of here, I feel like have better scenes in terms of like people are just going to come to a show for the sake of going to a show.
Mm.
It's a more dedicated fan base to music itself rather than like particular bands and shit. They're just down for a good time.
Well, New York, dude, New York is New York, man. It's super competitive. Whether you're
Yeah.
on a pizza shop or you're doing a metal, there's there's three metal shows every night. So, it's kind of like
Right.
it's a luxury. You can pick and choose. It's an amazing thing to be in New York, but
Hmm.
just makes it more difficult. So it's
Right.
kind of like a double-edged sword. You want more, but there's gonna be winners and losers.
Yeah, for sure.
And I ain't no loser, man. No, I'm just kidding. We lose frequently. What is it? Live to
Oh,
win, born to lose, live to win, right? Something like
yeah, some shit like that.
that. Motorhead.
Um, so now you said you do use quads, you use Kramer guitars. What's I mean, if you have any preference, like when you do play through an amp, like any favorite amp that you have where everything is just sim now?
Um, dude, I don't even think about it. I know, dude, I'm so weird. Like I could give a shit. Like I really, at the end of the day, I mean, on an album, yes, like that's important because it's
Hmm.
one shot. Playing live, like there's certain ones that dude, I'm so dumb, dude. I don't even pay attention when I'm playing through. Like if someone gives me a head, I don't. Like I am so far removed from thinking about that stuff. Like all I'm thinking about is playing. You know,
Yeah,
my uncle told me a long time ago, like the tone is in your hands, like how you play,
I mean,
how you
that's
touch
true.
it. And obviously, there's science behind this to prove me wrong. Like, it's the microphones are huge, and, the settings are huge. But dude, it is a flaw of mine and a strength. Like I'm so not picky that
Hmm.
I'll rock anything. I'll roll with anything. I don't care what it is. You know what I mean? I'd rather adopt that mindset because I'm like, dude, I can figure it out. No problem. It'll sound fine. As opposed to someone who's too picky.
Right.
So like I've got a PV, what is it, the 6505.
Okay. Solid amp, dude.
I don't know. I think it sucks, and then I think it's good. Like I can't, to my ear, like nothing's given me that 1984 Megadeth sound. I have like a vintage Marshall head, and
Hmm.
nothing's given me those sounds, but like that old Marshall head. So like, I've never found like that these new tube amps are really. I don't think I don't know. I'm not educated on this stuff, but I think that it's kind of like headphones. Like they're kind of manufactured, I think, for certain, like
Hmm.
just how you equalize something, kind of leans towards certain genres. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think like a lot of low tunings are more common now for guitars. So that's why you start seeing
Mm.
guitars are like that. So I don't know if I'm right. I'm just this is just me being an idiot. I could see being a lot of these heads to me just sound like all their settings. I'm like, dude, I want this thing to sound like glass. I want this thing to sound
Right.
no low end, like I'm playing like I want it to sound like you would think it's horrible, but I'm gonna think it's you know what I mean? So I don't know if things are just too expensive or I'm just too it's probably me. I don't pay attention, dude.
I mean, it's probably
It's funny
not
because you're
right.
asking me
Like,
about gear and I'm like going off with these philosophies. I have zero idea about gear, dude. I literally just like sounds good or it doesn't.
hey man, the simple is the best way. You know what you want to sound like, so if you can get there, you get there. But
Yeah, and like I said, like even a few years ago, I was like, why am I playing with reverb? Like this is just more magic. I don't want this. I want like raw, like just as raw as I can get. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I said to Rich, he has all the stuff in the Quad Cortex. Like delete all that reverb. I don't want it. Even when I solo, nope, same thing. I don't care.
it's definitely not necessary to have like so many effects layered on top, you know. You just if it makes you happy what you sound like, dude, that's literally the only thing that matters. Doesn't matter if it's a PV, doesn't matter if it's like a quad cortex, whatever makes you sound good and you're
Yeah.
happy with sounding like that, you know.
Well, it's funny too because I've been playing shows, I don't know, over 20 years, and it didn't really hit me until this band because I'd never played guitar and sang before.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm an idiot. So I not only am I playing all this crazy guitar stuff, I'm thinking of lyrics, I'm forgetting lyrics, and then like the first year or two, I'm looking down at pedals every 2 seconds, and then I'm like, dude, the best. I mean, I think as you get older, you realize and you look at a lot of young kids, they're just looking at the ground. It's like, dude, you gotta lock
Yeah.
eyes with people. Like when you're like people are going nuts and you're making eye contact, that's the connection. That's
Yeah.
the shit. So it's like every time you're like doing this, the step on something, you look like you're at work or something.
Yeah.
I literally, yeah, I was like, I'm done with looking down.
hmm
I'm looking down
I've
enough just to do this too much.
I've never been one to mess around with like pedals and shit. I have a Black Star amp, and like so with that, I have a foot switch, and I can program all my effects if I need them. But that's four buttons, dude. I'm not gonna go waste hundreds of dollars per pedal and just be dancing around on a pedal board the entire night. You
Yeah, I
know?
mean, I think certain genres, I think you probably need to, if you're trying to make it sound big and,
Yeah.
like stoner
If
rock, I could see that Doom, but like for
yeah.
thrash, probably you're playing so fucking fast, just shred
Yep.
the hell out of it. I
If
love
you're
it.
if you're trying to be like Polyphia or some shit, yeah, I get that. Or
I don't even know
between
who
the
that is.
buried and me, they're a math rock band.
Oh, yeah. Say it with math. What?
Yeah. That's something else. I don't understand math rock because I truly fucking hate math. So anything anything involving like having to add and shit while I'm playing, I'm just not doing
I mean, these
it.
guys, I mean, it's not for me. I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's bad because these guys are obviously, incredibly talented. It's insane.
hmm
I I always tell people like stop writing, like just write your personality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the best riffs or the best songs you're gonna write are just be your personality. So I consider myself a very primitive. I know what I like, but I know what I hate.
Yeah.
Um, and I just write songs like that. It's simple, gut reaction, no fanciness. But if you're more of an intellectual kind of you like all different things and you're diverse needs, and then you should write like that.
hmm
I think the worst thing you could do is write and it's like, this is not an extension of you. You're a pastiche. You're just cloning. Oh, I listened to this yesterday, so I'm gonna start writing like that.
hmm
It's like your personality is never gonna change. So that should be your source. That should be your fountain. Like it's gonna if you just be yourself, it's just gonna be natural. You'll never run out of ideas.
Right. That's the absolute truth.
Yeah.
It also kind of drives me nuts when people write things in studio that they can't replicate live.
Not like Tyler. Nah, I'm just
You
kidding.
saying he's an overachiever in studio? I don't know what you mean.
Oh, the studio magic. Yeah, I've never even heard of that. I don't know. Like I've seen every once in a while my algorithm on YouTube gets messed up,
Yeah.
which Matt, this infuriates me, bro. How hard I've worked to
Brick
find.
by brick, bro.
Yeah, that expression, Rome wasn't built in a day. That's not even the whole expression. You know that? The whole expression was Rome wasn't built in a day, but they were laying bricks every hour. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? And that's my algorithm. But every once in
yeah.
a while I'll watch some guitar thing, and then I just start getting I forgot what the hell you just said. Oh, the in studio stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll get like these like YouTube videos like, did this guy fake this solo? Is this backing
Yeah.
tracks? And I'm like, what? Dude, I couldn't even imagine why someone would even do that.
Right.
I watch it sometimes and I'm like, these guys, I don't even know why they're faking them. They're so incredibly talented. I'm like, dude, who
hmm
cares? But I think that's like, I don't know if we're getting off a tangent, but I've always loved guitar and I've kind of seen the way guitar culture is going or has gone. I mean, I
Yeah.
started it was a late 90s or early maybe 2000, I don't know. And it was kind of like I remember like even being as a teenager like Ingve
Yeah.
like well no one was doing the sweeps. Even Ingve was out in the 80s. Still nobody was doing it in the 90s, just him. And then like
hmm
metalcore kind of embraced those sweeps and then that kind of took over. And then lately a lot of the guitar playing is like Rich, my bassist, will be like, yo, check this kid out on YouTube. It'll be like a 15-year-old kid with a neck tattoo and he's just
Yeah.
playing like a 12 string, just doing this like insane wizardry where I'm like, I think they've lost the plot, dude. It's like
Yeah.
they're just they have. I just don't know how that gets anyone going. I'm just like, you know,
It's
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 the
just
law of diminishing returns. You know,
it's just jerking off, dude. That's all it is. It's like
I guess yeah, it's
you're
very
you're
self-indulgent.
yeah, you're only doing it for yourself. You're doing it
Yeah.
so people are gonna like your post and comment and say how great you are. Like, dude, just stop.
Oh
Play the
yeah, see,
guitar. Play with some fucking soul, you know?
well, I'm also, I think another problem is I'm not a big, the more you talk to me, I'll just start giving you my hot takes. I'm not a fan of like the studio one-man bands and stuff like that.
Mm,
Because I think like what you said, it's not like they can't play it, but you know, being in a band, it's a lot of filtering each other's personalities and your
yeah.
ideas. So I think like when you're very actually, and I shouldn't say that. I'll take that back about the one-man bands, but you'll see that with bands who have like kind of like like a tyrant, like a narcissist guy who's
Yeah.
like the leader. You know what I mean? And they might produce some good stuff, but after a while, you just start seeing that there's no editor or someone to bounce the ideas off of, and
Yeah.
it becomes this weird like, do they not know this is like out of touch and strange? You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a little bit of that. I think I've never seen it like online. I've just seen it on YouTube, but like maybe you're right. Maybe like these guys have never actually played. Maybe they're just so sick, but they've never played like a show. And
Yeah.
some like someone me at the after the show, I'd have be drunk at the bar. I'm like, dude, you're really good, but why'd you even play more than 3 minutes? It's all the same. You know?
Right.
Like just tell them the truth, you know?
Um, the one man band thing, it's something that's becoming more prominent.
Yeah, of course.
A lot of people, and myself included in this, like, I don't want to be in another band. I've done the band thing so many times, man, and like the experience of writing with other musicians has just been ruined for me. Like
Why is that?
it wasn't enjoyable. It just
Mm,
it quickly becomes whoever speaks the loudest gets the answer they want.
mm,
And I'm just not about that. Like I to collaborate, I would love to collaborate. But if it's gonna turn into a dictatorship, I have
yeah.
no interest in it, you know?
Yeah, no,
Um,
for sure, man. You know, you gotta
so
kinda, as a band, you gotta come up early on with a rule about that stuff, you know, like
yeah.
whether it's like, we always have a rule that if someone says it sucks,
Hmm.
that's it. That's it. No matter how much you say that sucks, dude. And I go, oh damn, all right. Like for the last album, I wrote a song. I was like, oh shit rules. So I was like, dude, it sucks. I was like, really? All right. I think a lot of that though, maybe not you, because you seem like you're open to collaborating and other people are just shoving it down your throat, but I think that comes from an insecurity of like being able to write more shit, you know?
Hmm.
Like just because I like what, you can't write four more? You can't write five more if I shot this one down, you know? So
Hmm.
I think people need to get I think people have to have a high rejection tolerance, you know?
Yeah.
Or don't come with
Um,
one riff. Don't come with one song. Bring four of them. Send me
right.
all of them. I'll tell you which one, and we'll start with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You
I
know?
mean, the last band I was in, it was a shit show for that reason among others. But I started it for the purpose of like I've been writing music for 20 something years and I wanted that to be the project where I got that kind of shit out there.
Mhm.
And then no one else that joined the band afterwards wanted to play it. So I'm like, yeah, this is a whole lot of fuck this. So,
Well, hey
um,
man, sometimes it's all about timing, and maybe
yeah.
you found the wrong people, dude. You got to find guys who are. I always tell people I'm philosophizing, but I always think that like the best thing you could do. I actually did it because I have a little side project going to it, a band, and I like the first time we jammed. I think we jammed for 10 minutes and then we just got drunk.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, that was more important because you got to see if we hang out, dude. Can we,
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? I think a lot of bands don't do that. They get right into writing. And I'm
Hmm.
like, dude, you're about to commit to years with these people. You got to know if you got the chemistry, are we
Yeah.
friends? Do I, because then you get the secret resentment. Nobody wants to talk to each other.
Right.
Dude, you're in a metal band. It should be fun. Like, what are you
Hmm.
doing? You know, it's not fun. You're doing something wrong.
Um, but yeah, I mean, after that, man, I started writing for myself, recording for myself, because like I'll either release it and have people collab for vocals and shit, or I won't, But at least it's getting out there. At least I'm writing the shit and I can listen to it for myself.
Yeah.
A little self-serving, but dude, I'm so exhausted from the whole like, yeah, I brought these songs to rehearsal and you brought these songs to rehearsal, and It's not
Yeah,
for
no,
not for me anymore.
yeah, like you said, if it's not, it's not fun, what are you doing it for? You don't have to do it, and the
Yeah.
technology allows yourself to get your ideas out there.
Yeah, I don't have the energy to fight with people about music anymore. I just want to enjoy the shit.
Yeah, but like once again, I think that goes back to like if like the arguing is like that's not something you should be doing with your friends. So
Right,
if you're not
100%.
if you're not in a band with like if you guys aren't like a little gang, you know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like you guys against the world, it's never you'll never those little conflicts will slowly, mount and
yeah,
you'll hate each other. And then you'll
yeah.
be hosting a podcast and writing your own music.
Hell yeah, man. That's exactly what happens.
Right? That's actually pretty sick though, because like everybody finds something and like the same thing. I dropped out of music for a few years too. I was like, I'm done. And
Yeah.
you don't write it off. You can always come back and do your own thing, dude.
Yep. Absolutely. And I don't know if you knew, Tyler was in my last band.
I think he told. What was the name of it again? He told me. Yeah,
It was Burn Your Bridges.
that's what. Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marie Bridges. How was that being in a band with Tyler?
Oh, dude, it was awesome.
Yeah, Tyler's pretty easy going, actually, right?
I mean, Tyler Tyler is the asshole of everybody's friend group, but I love that dude.
Yeah,
Great guy, great drummer, great musician all around. But he was so easy to work with. That was my favorite part, is that like I go to rehearsal or practice with him and like we're just productive, you
yeah,
know? And that's the kind of mindset that I like when I'm working with people, is that we're gonna work too. It's gonna be fun, but
yeah,
this is, putting our names and reputations on shows and selling tickets and merch and like a whole bunch of shit. Like it's got to be everything above board. You got to get along. You got to be able to collaborate.
yeah.
Um,
Like I said, it's like you're basically dating four people. Like you got to make sure this is
yeah.
you're gonna spend a lot of days, car trips. It's
hmm
better to just start it off or just don't even start it because it didn't work out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, we did great shows, man. Like the band, when we were on, we were on.
Nice.
We opened for a decent amount of like nationals and shit, so we had our fun, but it wasn't gonna last. And then COVID
Yeah.
happened, and that was a shit show.
Mm.
But
Yeah, that'll happen.
yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So now you said that you've been playing for a long time too.
Yep.
When did you enter the scene? Like what was your first band?
I had like we had a high school band, which was we played shows and stuff, like kind of old school metal, nothing like serious, just
Yeah.
kind of high school garage band type of stuff. Then I was in a crossover hardcore band. That was more of a serious band called Laced Joint. That was in like mid 2000s to
Okay.
late 2008, 10, 9. I don't know. We opened up for some bigger hardcore bands. It was fun. It was wild.
Hmm.
And then I was in a doom metal band called Negative Reaction for a little bit, not too long, cup of coffee. Um, and then just did some little odd things. I kind of did the same thing with you. Like I kind of I don't know when it was, but after a while, like growing up, because I always liked old school thrash and speed metal and
Right.
death metal and stuff like that. Then it was kind of like the worst time when I was kind of like in my early, late teens, early 20s. Like it was all the new metal and the metalcore kind of shit took over, and I'm like, not for me. So I kind of like, I used to like review metal CDs for a website. Like I did something different. And then maybe like 10 years ago, I got back into it. I was like, yeah, I gotta get back into the shows and stuff. So it's kind of like, I don't believe, I think that if you really love metal, like you'll never actually leave. You know what I mean? It's like maybe you'll
Right.
take a little break, but like, I actually always find that peculiar about bands. You see people who they're in metal bands, all of a sudden they quit a band or they just leave and they're just gone forever. I go, yeah, that always surprises me. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
not judging them. It just surprises me because I feel like if once you become a metalhead, it's like, it's so much a part of your identity.
Yeah. That's the absolute truth, man. Like it's your personality. I mean, not your entire personality, but it's
Yeah,
a
no, for
huge part
sure.
of who you are.
Yeah, like if,
Being
yeah, like Manowar says, if you're into metal, you're a friend of mine. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
all my friends listen to metal. That's all. That's my hobby. On the weekends, you just go to
Yeah.
shows. So it really consumes your life. Good way.
It's
Good.
oh yeah, without a doubt in a good way. It's very much a culture, which is something a lot of people, you know, they believe it. It's just a weird thing because the word gatekeeping gets thrown around a lot now. Like it's not always a bad thing. to
I like a little bit of gatekeeping, not the posturing, but I like a little bit of it, you know.
yeah, I mean, my rule for everything in life is don't be a dick. As long as you're not a dick, we'll have no problems. But the gatekeeping I get in a sense of like you want to protect what's yours. You want to make sure that in your mind it's still gonna stay pure.
Exactly.
Um,
Yep, exactly. It's all about protecting that. Yeah.
and like, it's one thing to be like go to a concert, you see someone wearing like a fucking Master of Puppets shirt and say, "Hey, name three songs." Like, no, no, just leave them the fuck alone. But it's something else when you see like Kim Kardashian wearing a Cannibal Corpse shirt. It's like, dude, get the fuck out of here.
Well, see, actually,
Like,
I'm okay with that. Actually, let me tell you the whole. I think the opposite. I think that the gatekeeping should be to like other musicians and bands
mm,
in the scene, because I actually think a lot. One of the I don't. I think that a lot of what a lot of people should be doing is taking their non-metalhead friends, even if they're into pop, you know, Justin Bieber or Taylor Swift, whatever the big thing is. You should
yeah,
be bring them to a metal show, like whether
right.
it's a show, because you know there was a point in everybody's life where they weren't into metal. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone got into metal. No one's born that way, so you never know what that person's. So like, dude, you know, I'm not saying Kim Kardashian, but I'm saying if you saw some girl who's like a complete poser, or she's your friend, you know. Dude, be like, you should check out, you know, try to tell them to join the team, dude, you know?
Yeah.
I think that is cool. I like my form of gatekeeping, I think. I don't do it, but I kind of support it. I like when the bands or the musicians, you know, um when they're kind of either, and it could be ignorance or youth or just they don't know shit or they're not been around. You know, like
Right.
when bands act like they're, you know, like they don't respect the other bands or the bands who are acting like you know like they're inventors of things or like you know
Yeah.
what I mean like they're not playing or you know like you said if you're in a metal band and you're wearing you know a Metallica shirt and you don't like you know what I mean like you don't listen to this dude like what you know what I mean that type of stuff I think should get checked a little bit more and I
Mm,
don't think you should be you know picked up and thrown out of there but it's like there dude this is like you said this is you don't have to be here this isn't a subculture so
right.
contribute to it dude you know and I think every person's got something to bring to the table so if people are allowed to just kind of fake their way through things so I don't think you know they should be like you said, you know, made fun of. But it's like, dude, tell them like, yo, let's go, take this seriously, dude.
Yeah.
You could bring something to the table. Find some sick band that no one's ever heard of and bring it to us. Like that's your, you know what I mean? So I'm okay with the Kim Kardashian because who cares? Yeah, but she's a potential metalhead, dude.
Mm.
No, no,
I
I didn't
I
mean
don't
you
think
know.
so, but
Well, yeah, maybe not her, but you know what I'm saying, dude. You know?
I mean, what shocked me is to find out that Demi Lovato is a secret metalhead.
Yeah, but see, like, I don't think she is, right? You think she is?
I mean, she said she used to listen to like Job for a Cowboy and shit.
Not that's not even on my register. I couldn't name a
Yeah.
song. I know maybe they're good. I don't know what they even sound like.
They're death metal or deathcore, kind of a little bit
Um,
of both. Yeah,
you don't want to hear. You don't want to hear my. Oh, I know that band. Forget it. Yeah, I'm bringing. Sorry, Matt. Not allowed.
um,
Not allowed.
see, I look at it in a way of like, if you're gonna go to a show and try to check somebody for the shirt they're wearing, like that's the part of the culture where I'm like, yeah, it may be a little cringy to see someone walking around in a shirt that they look like they clearly have no idea what they're wearing, but maybe that's their first metal show. Maybe
Right.
they're
Yeah.
they're getting introduced to the culture that day. So I don't want to be the guy that's like, hey, name three songs or get the fuck out of here. It's like, nah, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you enjoy your night because this you might not know how to dress for a metal show. Don't do the poser shit. Don't be like, I have to wear black. I have to like paint my nails and eyeliner and shit. Like,
Yeah.
no, you don't got to do all that.
Well,
You're doing too much. Like, you can come in here dressed like a fucking Barbie doll. Everyone's gonna accept you for who you are. Like, it doesn't matter.
yeah. So
But
that's the part where like you said, I at a live show I've never actually maybe people I couldn't believe someone would actually do that like the name three songs to a stranger. So if you've done that,
yeah,
that's a little aggressive. But I
yeah, that's
always think
shitty.
like my thing is, and we were having this conversation with Tyler. Like I don't understand how like you know. So, in my opinion, there's certain bands that are legit, you know,
Yeah,
and there's certain bands that are not legit. So I think that like I think it's interesting when metalheads like kind of both. I'm like, dude, how do you like this band, but you like that? You know what I mean? Like, how do you tell me you love Sodom, but then you're like, I couldn't even name a bad band. I don't even know, but you know what I mean? Something like that. That's the stuff that blows my mind, you know?
Yeah.
Or like what you said, where they dress up as Poison, but then they like deicide. I'm like, what is that? I don't I don't get that, you know. But dude, whatever. To each his own. Too old,
Yeah.
too like you said, and like I said earlier, there was a point where everybody's listened to something that you now consider lame or cringy. You know, like
Hmm.
I'm sure we've all listened to some bands that you're like, oh, I hope no one ever finds out that I like them. You know, so I got to be nice to people, man. There's no point to being, crazy. But the
Yeah.
bands, they should be checked.
Yeah, no, the bands with the ego and any kind of shit like that, they need to be kept in check. But yeah, man, especially like being in a band, you want to be the guy that's cool to everybody because that could be someone that was like kind of on the fence about going to the show. They meet
Sure.
this really cool dude that's in a band, and now they're a fan of yours because you were cool to them, you know?
Well,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
it happens all the time.
And then, dude, there's a way to do it. You know, you'd be
Yeah.
funny about it. Like if someone's wearing a lame shirt, I'm like, dude, you got to start listening to Sodom. Come on, man. I'm gonna text you the new album. Man, you got to give, like you got to sometimes you got to turn on people to something. And a few months
Yeah.
later, they'll be like, I can't believe I was listening to that. Yeah, Sodom
Hmm.
rules. You know what I mean? Things like that. So I like to, like I said, I like people to join the team if they
Hmm.
want to, and I don't think you should, you know everyone's like it takes time, to
Yeah.
find out too who's, what's what and who's who. So, be patient. And your job, if you think you're a legit metalhead, your job should be to show them some legit shit, give them a
Yep.
free pass, that's it. Turn them on to some good music.
And that's hard to do with a lot of people is to find
How is
something
it,
that
right?
they're gonna like. Well, I mean, not to have the conversation, but to be like, all right, so this is where you come from musically. I think you should check this band out. You know,
Right. Yeah.
it's an easy enough conversation to have, but it's like you don't want to give them something that's gonna scare them. You know?
Right, right. It's kind of like, yeah, you don't want, they got to walk before they can run type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's better. Like those babies, they throw them right in the deep end.
Yeah.
And they kind of swim. I don't know, dude. But I think at the end of the day, do it with your friends. I don't know why. I would never just talk to a stranger and be like confrontational. So,
Yeah, man. It takes a lot of energy to go out of your way to give someone shit for, wearing a fucking shirt, it's stupid. But
yeah, I mean,
um
dude, the better option is just to make fun of them from across the room with your friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, crack a joke. Like, dude, you see that guy? You just do that. Well, who
Mhm.
cares about the guy? You know?
I think like, like we were saying before, it's a matter of like protect the culture. Just make sure that like, people aren't going to a metal show to mock what you do, you know. Don't like
Yeah.
everyone's cool, everyone's going to treat you cool. Don't be a dick in return. Take it seriously because everyone here does. Um, it's that in a sense, it's a way of life. That is the culture. That is what we all go to shows for. We don't go to shows because it's really fucking loud. We want to go deaf. Like we go to shows because that's our community. You know,
Yeah, that's it.
like
That's a great way to put it, And like contribute, dude. I always tell people contribute.
yeah,
Start a zine, start a
hmm,
band, do a podcast, to write reviews, like
yep,
to be a photographer, I think if I think the older you get, the more you realize it's very important for people to like contribute something in the community. If you're just going to shows, like, dude, you could do something.
hmm,
Whether it's simple, like I said, bringing a friend. You're
yeah,
you're adding to the numbers. That you
hmm,
should always kind of I do believe that you have a responsibility to, maintain things and uphold things and,
yeah,
help build things, contribute, The band's giving you a kick-ass show. I don't know, bro. Simple. Take some photos of them, put them on
exactly.
social media, something.
So easy. It's so easy.
Yeah.
Stream their shit, tag them, say hi to them after they get off, let them know that you saw them, let them know that you were there, and then tell your friends about them. So fucking simple.
I think
Um,
things in life are better when you get involved, Don't just sit on the
yeah.
side. That's what I was saying before. Like, I don't like the separation.
Hmm.
If you just jump on the field, we're doing different things, but we're all involved, man.
That's
There's not,
why that's
you
why I'm
know.
doing this, man. I'm not in a band, but like I want to be involved in my scene,
Yeah.
I grew up in the Long Island music scene. I've been doing this shit fuck 18 years, man.
Yeah.
long time. Um,
Yeah, man. I
it's
mean,
it there's a lot of time invested, there's a lot of time spent, and I regret none of it, you know. It's every show is a great show, even if the bands suck. It's still, you know, a good environment with good people. But you know,
dude,
it's
sometimes the shows that suck are the best. It's hilarious, bro. Like I said, you crack some jokes with your friends, like, dude, this band, dude, you know how many times me and Tyler were texting each other, like, yo, this is the worst band I've ever seen. But it's funny. And then you kind of like them. You kind of like, yo, you kind of get into it. You're like, because you're kind of taking the piss out of it, you know?
yeah. He is by far the worst when it comes to shows.
Yeah.
Tyler Tyler doesn't have an off switch for how much he talks shit.
Yeah,
But
that's pretty much what we do. It's pretty much all we do in the band, honestly. But in a loving way, you know?
yeah, nah,
And sometimes the coolest people are in the worst bands, dude, in the metal scene. You'll have friends that you go like, I hate the band, but damn, that's like my one of my best friends.
right.
You know? It's funny.
I think that like, you know, I don't know if you did you know Larry Foreman from Jackpipe?
Hold on, I just dropped. Okay, I thought I was gonna sneeze. No, I talked to him a few times. You know, I've seen him at a few. I saw him at the Prong show. Actually, I talked to him. You
Yeah.
know what's funny actually about that? Um, I bumped into him a bunch at shows. I wouldn't consider him a friend. You know,
hmm
but nice guy and all that. But
Yeah.
on Facebook, maybe like a month or two ago, he posted this thing like name all the bands you've been in,
Yeah.
and like people were just like writing every band, and I saw his list, and he named this very obscure speed thrash metal band from Long Island in like the 80s, and I'm like, dude, I have that cassette. I worship the fucking demo. Like I love this. It's obscure. No one knows it. So I'm like, I saw him at the show. I was like, dude, were you in that area? He's like, yeah. And then we were just talking forever about how he was in that band, and then sadly, yeah, out of nowhere, like, damn, dude, just rest in peace to that guy. Really sad to his family and everything.
Yeah. Um So I went to his wake and I was talking to his cousin beforehand, and she didn't know who Larry was to the music scene. She only knew Larry as the family guy, you
Wow.
know. And I told her, like, you are gonna be in for a major shock tonight because Larry was so important to so many people with his music, and
Yeah.
it was crazy. It was like a mini family reunion. You know, like his
Wow.
family was there for sure, but like I start seeing people walking through the door
It's
that
like
I
a
haven't
show.
seen, dude, people I haven't seen in 10 years walking through that door. Like people came out of the fucking woodwork for him. And I look
Wow.
around and I'm like, this is what the community is all about. You know,
Awesome, man.
we show up for our people, we go support everybody, and like you never know how much of an impact you're making by being the cool guy at the show, you know, the one that you just talk to for
That's a
no
good point.
reason, you know.
Good point.
Um, so that's what I mean by like, you know, preserve it, you know. Don't be a dick about it, but preserve what going through a show is and make sure the experience is good for everybody, you know.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Yeah.
Like you said, it should be a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, so now I also wanted to ask you because you've been doing this for so long, like
Mhm.
what inspired you? Like what made you want to be a guitarist? What made you decide like you're gonna give vocals a shot? What were your musicians that you looked up to?
So I've been playing music like piano in my whole life, so I kind of was always been very musical. Um, I distinctly remember, like I always actually it's funny, I grew up listening to metal. Like 5 years old. So Metallica, stuff like that. In middle school, I remember though, like I want something more extreme. And I got into a little rap, like East Coast
Mm,
rap, like DMX. I just loved how it's very like heavy metal. It's like demons and killing. I'm like, all right, this is cool.
yeah.
And I remember in like seventh or eighth grade, I was like, this isn't enough. I want something heavier. And I remember I found my friend's older brother was selling Megadeth CDs at his garage sale. I had no idea what it was. I just bought it. And that is what instantly said, I want to play guitar, grow my hair long. Like that was it instantly. So Megadeth's always been a huge inspiration. They still are inspiration for guitar playing. Like I kind of approach guitar a lot, like those old Megadeth records. Um, so yeah, I would say that's probably my number one like inspiration to start playing music was probably Megadeth in like eighth or ninth grade, I think it was. Probably ninth grade, I think. Yeah.
So, was there any specific song that resonated with you back then that really said, like, I want to learn this on a guitar, or I love how that sounds?
Yeah, so once luckily, so I was I knew piano, I knew how to read music, and I have a great ear. Like I can hear a song and just pick up and figure it out instantly. So I'm really good that way, luckily. So what really I think helped me learn guitar is like when I got into Megadeth and Metallica. I listened to Metallica before, but to like now that I love metal, I was like, oh, I could literally just hear like, Fade to Black, and it wasn't hard for me to figure out how to play it. So that like getting those early successes were huge to me. So, but I remember like printing out tabs in school and just wasting like hundreds of pages of printer paper to learn these songs. But yeah, it was usually if I was learning anything back then, it was definitely just Megadeth playing things, or downloading things off Napster,
Yeah.
like Iced Earth. Here in the
Hmm.
it's like let me try to learn Iced Earth, Megadeth. And I would usually jam to Sabbath records, but to me, I was pretty much obsessed with Megadeth. I think it was his and Overkill. Overkill was huge for me.
Yeah.
Um, I think I like their voices. I liked how they
Hmm.
sounded, kind of some people hate their voices, but I kind of
Nasally,
like
like,
I think it and just like they sound like, like the Crypt Keeper kind of. And
yeah.
I just think being in like eighth or ninth grade, I was like, what is this? Like stuff like that. So just that just was inspiring me all the time just to hear the technicality. I think there's something special. About twice a year I get pretty I have a tradition. Twice a year I get and I actually always do it before I record.
Oh,
I get
yeah.
I get pretty drunk and they have the guitar solos for the P Cells record and all the records isolated. So
Oh, cool.
you can just hear guitar solos. I've done it for Morbid Angel too to hear Trey solos. It's insane. But all you're hearing is the solo, no drums, no guitar tracks, and
Wow.
it's just wild, dude. It just every time it just blows my mind and it just inspires me to like wow, that's a crazy sound. I want to approach it like that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Megadeth, the guitar playing has always inspired me. I particularly like the first like three. Actually, Rust in Peace, everyone loves it. I like the first three the best. I think they're
Mm.
a little more unpredictable and wild. Um, I always just like the idea of playing it. I never liked like these like super like I always liked Yngwie Malmsteen and all these guys, Eddie Van Halen. I never really liked them. Like I just thought it was like too pretty and perfect.
Yeah.
Like I love just like guys who attacked the guitar and just made this thing like sound like they were torturing it. I just those early Megadeth guitar solos are just so raw and wild, man. You gotta
Yeah.
pull them up one day and just listen to them, dude.
I didn't even know they had the ISO tracks on that, so I'll have to
It's
check that
it's it's
out.
weird too because a lot of so like that's the thing. Like I always used to love Dave Mustaine's like tone and how he played,
Yeah.
and a lot of it, the reason it's so special sounding is like he would overdub, like he'll do two, he just double it up,
Hmm.
but like it'd be out of tune, or he would make a mistake on a few, so he would instead of having the notes lined up, they kind of like are impossible to play because he's playing wrong. So
Yeah.
that's why like these some of these notes sound like, how did he do that? It's like, oh, now I know why. It's just wrong or out of tune, but it's so raw, and he just went with it. Hit a
That's
wrong note,
awesome.
take the whammy bar and just crush it.
Dude, that's awesome. I didn't know any of that.
Dude, twice, once every year right before I record, I always do it. I always just like, yo, let me just blow my mind really quick.
Yeah.
Chris Poland solos, it's just insane. And what's cool, it's on YouTube. It's like 13 minutes long, but like 10, it's like, 30 seconds of Chris Poland, then Dave Mustaine, then Chris
Hmm.
Poland. So it's kind of like, whose style, totally different ideas. It rules, dude. Highly
That's
recommended.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back in this interview when we're done
Yeah.
and find
Yeah, man.
that.
Yeah. Other than that, like my most modern influence, I wouldn't say modern because I don't really listen to modern stuff that much, but
Hmm.
Tony Pitaro from Whiplash, he's one of my favorite guitar players. He's probably Megadeth is an influence of mine.
Okay.
Whiplash I steal from. You know what I mean? Like that's how much I like them, and I've told Tony that. Like I love Megadeth and I love Slayer, but I steal like I don't actually steal a riff, but like the
Right.
way he just played that, I'm literally stealing how he did that. Like it's just I love it that much. And then there's a very obscure thrash band called Forced Entry. They're a three
Hmm.
piece. They had two albums. It's insane. I think yeah, two albums. It's it. And it's just insanely inventive. They're a three-piece. The guitar player just does crazy shit, and it's insane. So that's probably my biggest like guitar influences that you would hear.
That's awesome, man. I I definitely like now thinking about you saying that. I hear a lot of Mustaine in your playing.
Yeah,
Um, a
I'm
lot of
not
that
good enough to
influence
do
is
Chris
there.
Poland. Yeah,
Dude, I don't know many people that are good enough to do any of the technically lead guitarists that Megadeth has ever had.
yeah,
Um, Dave has never not played with a world-class musician in his band.
yeah. But see, I've always Chris Poland is honestly. He's one of my favorites, but I've always loved Dave Mustaine's style
Yeah,
because it's wild and like he doesn't like Marty Friedman, dude. I can't get with it. I don't know why.
yeah,
Dude, those solos are beautiful. I love his playing, but like that's I think it's just how I identify. Like Dave Mustaine
yeah,
on those early records, it's just he's just going for it. He's just a
yeah.
savage. It's just high intensity, picking like crazy.
Well, dude,
Uh,
he was young and pissed off. You
that's
know
it, man. Yeah,
that
that's it.
it's exactly how he played. He was fucking mad, and you could hear every
Yeah.
single note about how
Yeah.
mad he was.
And I actually, that's a little, not really a secret. I tell people if they ask, but when we record guitar solos for the album, I do about 75% of them drunk.
Yeah,
And I don't write them either. I write a few, like going in, some I write, but most of them I'll just get a buzz because it makes
yeah.
you creative, man. It just makes you.
It
I'm not
loosens you up.
I'm not advocating that. But for my style, it works because I'm not trying to be Mr. Precision, Eddie Van Halen
Yeah,
finger tapping, So I always yo. So I hate recording. The guys will tell you I hate recording, dude. I hate
yeah.
it. But I love recording solos, man, because I get to have so much fun. We drink a bunch of beers and I'm just going to fucking town on this. I love it. So the problem with that is I got to relearn the solos a few months later because I don't even know what I played. Sucks.
See, that's one thing I will say. I always get nervous when I'm recording.
I hate
Red
it.
the red light, man,
I
fucking
hate
freaks me
it.
out.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it. I mean, this album was a little more easy for me. I was very prepared.
Yeah.
Last album I told you I had some guitar issues. We had the recording environment was sucked. This one it was pretty cool because we did the like right into the computer. What is that? I don't even know what you call that. So yeah. What do you call that? We reamped it. So I just
Yeah.
yeah, so I don't know what you call it. We plugged into the computer. But that was a little easier because I just have that. I was just watching a movie while I did it, no stress, make a day out of it. But I just hate it. Yeah, like it's hard to get
Yeah.
a perfect I hate the idea of trying to get a perfect take, knowing that it's gonna live forever. I hate it. I hate it, man. It's
You
stressful.
know, sometimes, I mean, it's always kind of subjective. Like the word perfect, dude. Like you're never gonna find perfect. It's always gonna have to be like that's good enough because there's always gonna be that take where it's like this is the best possible product that we could have gotten, but you're still gonna feel like you could do more to make it better. And it's just knowing
Yeah.
when to like say, okay, I know that that's gonna be the take. Like
Yeah,
that's the hard part.
I actually figured that out a long time ago. The easiest way to do it is if you lay something down and then like 2 minutes later, whether you're smoking a cigarette, you went to the bathroom and you're still thinking like I could do that better. A lot of
Yeah.
people will never like say it out loud. They'll
Hmm.
just like, it's fine, it's fine. You just have to be like either you're happy with it or you're not, and that's it. Like you
Yeah.
can't just play like, let me hear it back. It's okay. It's like, nah, dude. It's either you either go, yep, that's good, or it's either like I gotta do it again.
Hmm.
Simple as that. Because then you'll be unhappy with it forever.
See, I'm someone who like I don't mind small imperfections. Like for me, it's much bigger if like I mean to hit a harmonic or a dive or something and I miss that, I need to go back and hit that.
Gotcha.
But if I'm like a little off rhythm or if like one note is a little sour or like a bend isn't fully there, like I'm not gonna freak out about it. I'll be like, no, that sounds really fucking good. Like I'm totally happy with that.
Yeah, I think there's a fine line of like, it should be organic. It should sound sick as hell, but you don't want to be going in, doing all the studio magic and fixing things. Otherwise, it's
Right.
like that's why I said it's better off to becoming very, very, very prepared. So
Yeah.
when you need those when you do need those little pieces of whiteout or whatever, the computer where you're copying and pasting, at least, it's
Yep.
like 5% of the album or something. I mean,
My
that's how they did it back in the day too. They were all cheating like that too, if you want to
oh
call it,
yeah.
if you want to call it cheating. So
I mean, my last name is not Petrucci, dude. Like, I don't expect to be held in high regard in the guitar community. Like, I just want to have fun and make sure it sounds good, you know?
yeah,
But that's really it. That's all there is to like writing and recording your music. And you
yeah,
you've been doing it for a while, you know. I don't gotta tell you, but it's all about how much fun you have and knowing how it's gonna live after that. Because the
yeah.
whole point is to leave a legacy with an album, you know?
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, you really shouldn't even care about how you're received, as long as,
yeah,
like at the end of the day, it's nice. It's very nice to get positive reviews. It's very nice to have some recognition. But at the end of the day, you should start off thinking, no one will ever hear this and you're gonna die unknown. Like just if you accept that, you know what I'm saying? If you just accept that, that's probably what you deserve anyways. Like a lot of this is luck, a lot of it's timing. So,
yeah,
well, the number one reason you should think like that is like you should just put out something that you're happy with. You know what I'm saying?
right.
You know what I mean? You shouldn't be going for what other people who care about it. Who cares, You know?
Yeah, man, you don't need like the top end producers to tell you how to make a record. You should just know how to write your own music, record your own music. And you put in the work for it, you know? It's not like you're writing the shit in studio. Like you're coming in with the shit written.
I never
So
heard people actually do that, dude. That's insane to me.
right in the studio, yeah, that was a big label thing for a while, is that bands would book 2 months in a studio and they would write the album and record the
Oh,
album
that's
in
kind of cool.
studio.
Well, actually, that's kind of I like that idea though. I thought you mean like they're just writing it because they have nothing prepared, but
No.
they're going in there with that idea to be like, all right, we're gonna see what happens. You mean?
Yeah. Like
Yeah, that could
they'll
work. You never know.
yeah.
I don't know.
It's a pain in the ass, I'm sure. And you're doing it for the label. You're not doing it for yourself at that point. You're
Yeah.
doing it to get like at that point your work is cut out for you. The record label needs a an album in hand in 2 months and you got 2 months to write a record and shit. It's like
See, I
all
don't
you
know,
have is
Matt.
riffs.
If the label was giving me a chunk of change, dude, I'd be no problem with that. I'd be like, hell yeah, I could write you a sick ass record.
Hey man,
I think it depends
that
on how people write.
that all depends on how much of that money is mine. You know, how much of that is mine, how much is getting put right back into the label, and
Yeah.
then we'll talk about writing the crazy record with a month and a half to go, you know?
So it's funny you said that because we were talking before we did this album, like, what are we gonna do next? Like, are we gonna see if this album pops off? Are we gonna take it easy? We're gonna do like an album in 3 years. So I just came up with the idea. We were talking, and I just randomly came up with the idea. I was like, you know what we're gonna do, bro? Sometime in October in the fall, you guys are gonna come over on a Friday, and we're gonna lock ourselves in my house for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're gonna write a whole album. That's it, done. Old school, just belt it out. And if it works, that's gonna be sick, because it's gonna be like raw and like kind of like it was all captured in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
But if you get half of it, then you can use it as an EP. If it sucks, who cares? If it's 3 days, you know what I mean? It was only 3 days.
Right.
But I think that's what we're going for. We're going with this really like intense burst of like I told you, maybe everybody brings a song or two.
Yeah.
Go for 8 or 9, dude. We could do that. We don't write Dream Theater
Right.
type stuff, so it's kind of meat and potatoes, high quality meat and potatoes thrash. So I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try something different.
Hey man, that'll be a lot of fun. You
Yeah, I
know?
mean, drink all day, write riffs, record them. That's it, dude. You're just partying.
Yep.
You want to come by, man? You can come by, play the tambourine, or
Yeah.
get your 7 string out, or whatever you said you had. The Schecter, right? You said?
I mean, I don't have that Schecter anymore. That shit got
Oh, okay.
fucking stolen from me. But
No, that's terrible.
yeah, dude, stolen right out of the back of my car while I was at work. I had my ESP LTD, my Schecter Diamond, and a Les Paul Epiphone Les Paul in my car.
Jesus,
And
that burglar really hit the jackpot that day.
he only stole the
Oh,
Schecter.
huh. They
It's
probably couldn't
like,
carry more than one, right?
yeah, but if you're gonna go for one, why the fuck would you go for the Schecter and not the Les Paul? Like,
Might as well just steal your car at that point and drive it all.
honestly, I would have preferred that. Just steal
That's
the whole
terrible.
fucking thing. It would have broken my heart less.
So yeah,
But
stolen gear is like it's like the one that gets away. You'll never forget it.
yeah, especially since I didn't know anything about serial numbers at that point.
Yeah, you got to take. I mean, I think a lot of people do the Apple AirTags too now, right, and stuff like that, and
I
try to
mean,
hide them.
now, yeah, back then AirTags
Oh,
weren't a
of
thing.
course. Yeah, yeah,
This
yeah.
was
I
like,
know.
this is 2015, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Seems so close, but 10 years ago already. Jeez.
yeah. No, but
Man,
I do have my My baby, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera.
Oh wow.
My seven string baritone
Oh,
V.
it's a flying V.
Yeah.
Nice. You know, I've never played a seven string my whole life. I've never touched one.
I was never really into them. And then we started dropping tuning, going to like drop A sharp. Some songs were being
A
planned for
sharp,
like,
dude. Insane.
yeah. Some songs are being planned for like drop G and shit. So I'm like, I should probably invest in a seven.
No, I think you should
Um,
at that point.
and
Yeah.
the funny thing is, I have two seven strings. The drop G song never happened.
Oh, come on, man. If I gotta sell that bad boy, let's go get rid of it.
Yeah, I would much rather. I think I might get rid of one and just maintain my sixes,
Yeah.
or get another six because it's been a long time since I've had a new guitar.
Damn, dude.
But yeah, man,
Yeah, that's a good feeling when you get another axe, put one in the collection.
yeah. Um, so now I want to ask you about themes for Harbinger.
Hmm.
What lyrics like what yeah, what do you write about with your lyrics?
It's a good question. So mostly this album, the whole album was basically I had a few. So I never write personal lyrics. I just don't think I ever will. I don't find it. I don't find myself that interesting to write about anything in my life. So I try to get inspired by whatever. So this one was once I wrote two or three songs. It's mostly just about the end of the world. The whole
Okay.
everything's really about like the end of the world or post-apocalypse or just something else. So every album, every song, and I didn't actually know I did this, but every song is written through like the point of view of a different narrator. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of the albums do about like Christian doomsday. I'm really inspired by like Christianity and like the Book of Revelations and prophecies. Some of it was one song was written about the Quran and
Mm,
uh, Muhammad. I thought that was interesting. Then I read there's a few that are based off like a few ancient religious texts that are pretty wild with like demons and old prophecies. I just find that stuff fascinating, man. I love the language in the Bible and these religious texts because they're writing something they think is 100% true and it's like poetic. And
yeah.
it's all about either it's black and white. It's like doomsday, you're going to hell. I just find that shit is so inspiring for heavy metal, and kind of badass.
Yeah.
So most of it was either about that or like there's two songs about cults, the Heaven's Gate cult, and then the last song, Seven Seals of Koresh, is written about Waco, the Branch Davidians and what
Yeah.
happened to them. So it's mostly just about the end of the world, dude. Really just do some good stuff about it. Like, there's some songs about like, good conquering evil, and there's other songs like written from an evil perspective. So
Mm.
um yeah, I don't like to really take like my own personal views into things. I just kind of like whatever inspires me. I could write about that. That's sick. You know what I mean? And
So,
sometimes I'll actually take the lyrics, excuse me, I'll take the lines from these texts and I'll kind of either throw them in there or twist them around or just kind of
mm,
like I forgot I think it's like Azazel, which is based off of the Book of Enoch, which is a very obscure religious text in ancient Judaism and Christianity. And I'll just take lines straight from there and twist it because it's so badass. So I was like, oh, that's easy.
so would you consider Harbinger to be a concept album of sorts, or do you feel like every song is its own individual contributor?
Yeah, I don't think it's a concept album. I think the theme there's a thread of themes.
Hmm.
Um, but there's really no concept. There's no characters, there's no plot really, and there's some like Frozen Files just about abducted children.
Hmm.
Um, so there are some outliers, but no, yeah, definitely not a concept record.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I noticed
we're
with your
not that
writing,
smart, bro.
I noticed with your writing that it's not necessarily written from your perspective.
Yeah,
I've noticed that, and I was curious to ask you about that.
interesting.
Um,
Yeah, dude,
yeah.
I consider I'm a pretty easygoing guy. I don't really have many inner struggles to write about. I don't
Mm,
If something bad happens to me, I don't find it particularly interesting. I also, dude, I don't watch the news. I'm not into politics.
right.
So it's kind of like I've written some stuff, on the earlier stuff, I would throw in some, not like political, because I don't have a political point of view, but I would just throw some stuff in there. And at the end of the day, I was like, this feels kind of forced, like,
Yeah.
so I was just like, what do I like to read? What inspires me? And that kind of, I think or what ideas? I think the ideas of like, Judgment Day is like just badass, dude. It's like how, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's just what a cool idea it is. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Whether you believe it or not, just the idea that there's like, um, like mm, time is running out. I mean, I could not even do about Judgment Day. It could be about your own personal life. Time is running out. It's coming soon. And that really kind of puts things in perspective. Like, dude, are you doing what you're supposed to be doing? Like I kind of like that idea. And if
Yeah.
not, you're going to suffer the consequences. I kind of like that idea,
Hmm.
from a primal perspective.
Hmm. So it's I it's kind of a breath of fresh air for me to hear someone say that they don't give a fuck about politics because it's such an important part of society right now.
Yeah.
And my whole view on shit has shifted so much over the last few years
Yeah.
that it's like I can't like I keep my face out of it. It's a common sense thing, I feel like, for a lot of shit now. And it's
Well,
like that doesn't even run deep with a lot of people
yeah.
anymore. So I just try to keep my mouth shut.
Well, I don't even really look at it like that. I mean, I definitely see what you're saying. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna, why would you just start talking I think a lot of people just, I think anybody who talks politics, just assuming they think, you agree, like that's crazy to me. I wouldn't just bring
Yeah.
it up. But I think once you're on the planet a bunch of years, you should kind of know what you think, what you value, and
Hmm.
a news story shouldn't change that. So, like,
Exactly.
why would I care? Like, I already know what I think.
Hmm.
I am interested in like history. I am interested in politics from like a larger scale. Like,
Right.
I like to hear about like, like in 50 years this, or this is the way this is going in 100 years, or these things. Like, I do like. I don't like the culture wars. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying
Right.
I like to see what culture is like. Oh, this is like what's going on, but. We don't watch I don't have a TV. I don't watch the news, dude. I don't, if
Yeah.
every once in a while, I'll like type in a news site and I'll like, what the hell am I doing? I just exit out and I just start reading about metal stuff because I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't find it particularly worth my time. Not that I'm above it. I just, like could be doing
Yeah.
something positive or calling a family member, or, you know what I mean, or listening to a sick record. What am I doing with that? I didn't, hey man, if you're a politician, you should be talking about it.
Right.
That's not your job. What are you doing?
Right.
You know?
Yeah, man. I I try to avoid the news. I feel like everything, no, whether it's politics or whatever the fuck, it's a bunch of bullshit. There's nothing ever positive that you hear on the news anymore. It's always like who died, what's killing somebody, what
Yeah.
plague. It's like, dude, fuck all this, man. There's so much more to life than worrying about like every ounce of negativity possible, you know?
Dude, yeah, I mean, and even I'll even go further. I don't even care about the positive stuff. Like, I seriously,
Right.
like, why care? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, once you get invested in stuff that has no relevance to your life, or
Yeah.
you know, it's just odd to me. I think once you kind of get disconnected from it, it's kind of
Hmm.
like, oh, yeah, what was I doing? This is a waste of time. It's kind of
Right.
like, I don't know if you play video games, but I haven't played video games in like 20 years. But I
Hmm.
remember the day I quit. I was like, this thing sucks. I'm not playing this. And then like once you stop, you go, what? I mean, I'm not hating on people. I know, it's a bad example, but like once you just stop playing something that you were doing every day, you realize, oh, it's not even that important. You know what I mean? So
Right.
pick your whatever that is in your life. If it's not that important, cut it out immediately.
Yeah, if you put it into a bigger picture, then it really makes you like see the actual non-importance of certain things, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Video games, that was it's funny you mentioned that because for a long time I was the same way. I was like, no, this is kind of stupid. I'm kind of out.
Yeah.
And for shit, 15 years, I was like kind of just I didn't care about video games. I
Right.
didn't give a shit about any of it. Now I play some stuff, but it's not like, I'm hopping on Fortnite or Call of
Yeah.
Duty every single night, competitive play, and like, no, man, if I play a video game, it's like Tony Hawk, or once in a while I'll play Call of Duty by myself, but like, it's just to have fun and turn my brain off because that shit doesn't happen often. So,
100%. Yeah. I was, yeah, video games are great. Dude, anything.
no, I
People,
didn't think you were shitting on it. I was just saying,
no,
like,
yeah, yeah.
it's,
People, dude, even doing healthy things, people going to the gym. Like, why are you
yeah,
every day, dude? Like, what is this about? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's really not that important. Like, looking, like, I think that at the end of the day, I kind of like going back to Harbinger. I like these ideas of like, life or death because like
yeah.
that's all that matters really.
That's
And
all
then
there is, really.
yeah, exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, that's where we're going, so it's kind of like when you put it like that, it's like, okay, now I'm going to prioritize these things
Yeah.
instead of like, I think it's pretty cool. Like, if the world was ending tomorrow, like what would I do? What
Right.
would I regret wasting my time with? So I kind of like that idea because it's like it's kind of like a knife to your throat type of situation.
Hmm. Yeah, it makes you think for sure, you know.
Yeah, and
Um,
these ancient, religious and these cults, man, they're not as crazy as you think. It's really cool, you know. So that's why I have a respect for people's different religions. I find it like, wow, you would live and die for this. Let me read into it. I think it's interesting, you know.
yeah, I mean, I'm not really one to ever shit on someone's religious beliefs or lack of beliefs or whatever. I will respect someone as long as they respect me. It's like I said before, don't be a dick. We don't have any problems, you know? And that goes the same for me. If I'm a dick to you, I want you to call me on it because I don't want to be that. I don't want you to have that impression of me. Um, but it's like, you know, in the grand scheme of things, does going to the gym every single day matter? Does playing video games till 4 o'clock in the morning with your friends really matter? Like, what are you doing with life? What are you doing to make an impact in life? And if you don't want to do anything, fine, that's your journey. But at the
Yeah.
same time, I want to fill my life with some cool shit, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know it's interesting. I don't think we're talking about religion. So but it's like, um, like some of them, like the Orthodox, Christian monks, they're just like, the world is a dead world, like there's nothing of
Hmm.
joy. Like, I kind of like that idea too. So that's kind of part of it. It's like this idea that like, there's no satisfaction you can get from the planet. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's all a circus. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
once you think like that, get rid of these, it's not a religious thing. Like, once you get rid of the stupid pleasures that really, the candy bars of life, basically, out
Yeah.
there, it's kind of like, yeah, let me cut everything off that's not waste my time. I kind of like that idea of getting like extreme with it, not extreme religious, like extreme with like get rid of stuff or put it in there.
A lot of people call it living in the flesh, you know?
Yeah, well, that's they say, yeah, they don't the world of the flesh is a zero sum game, You're not gonna get anything,
Hmm.
with it.
Right. It's like you experience certain things while you're here. You try to make the most of it while you're here, but what are you gonna do tomorrow, you know?
Yeah, I
Tomorrow's
mean, I'm not a nihilist, but
no, but tomorrow's not the guarantee, you know?
that's right.
Make the impact today.
That's
Make
right,
the
man.
impact that's gonna make tomorrow better, you
Yeah,
know? I
yeah.
don't know. It's
Getting
it's an
philosophical.
interesting it's an interesting world point to have, and especially if you're coming at this from a place of research and knowledge, you know,
Right.
because there is a lot, like, not to get into the whole thing, but when it comes to religions in the world and the things that set everyone else apart from each other, really they're not all that different, you know. It's a lot of the same thing, just said in a different way.
Yeah, and they're even if they are different, they're all looking for the same thing.
Yeah, you know, we're all on the same journey. So I don't understand the hate. I don't understand the disdain or malice towards somebody because they have a different religious title than you or they believe something differently. Like, dude, we're all chasing the same thing, you know?
Yeah,
Like, really, that's what it comes down to. We're all doing the same fucking thing. Why hate somebody, you know?
yeah,
These are our friends and neighbors in our communities, man. It should never get to that, you know?
absolutely, dude. No, I think that's a product of, like we were talking about before. You're watching the news, you think people who disagree with you are your enemy. It's crazy.
Hmm.
You know,
Right.
dude, I don't care. I
Yeah,
think that
man.
you've noticed, people have noticed that family members get torn apart over this stuff. You're like, but dude, it's this will be gone in another 4 years. In another 4 years, yeah, whoever wins, who cares? It's you know what I mean. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
not. There is some importance to all that type of stuff, but you know what I'm saying. Like, at the
sure.
end of the day, like important stuff first.
Hmm. Yeah, man. Excuse me.
No,
I
you're
don't I don't uh I don't really like to get upset over shit. Like I'm not gonna hate someone because of like who they vote for or what what church they go to. If they don't even go to a church, whatever they believe, like that's their life. That's their journey. That's their decisions. And if they respect me enough to believe mine, I respect them enough to believe theirs. Like, it's just the word respect is there. No matter what, the word respect is there. And I feel like it's not always. And that's the thing that sucks, you know? Because whether it is a band or a family member or friendships or politics or religion or whatever the case may be, it's if we all talk to each other with a little bit more respect, the world would be a different place, you know?
Yeah, man. Like I can't say anything else. That's perfect. Exactly, dude. Like why? No need for negativity. You know,
Right.
simple as that.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's the long and short of it.
You said it best.
But getting back to Harbinger, so now you've had songs on Harbinger that have been rewritten, right? Like Heaven's Gate is an older song for you. What are some of the other ones that you've kind of like brought back to life to put on this record?
So yeah, Heaven's Gate. We put that as a single, and we were like, ah, should we put it on the album? Originally, we are like, yeah, we're not going to put it on the new album. But then once I like got the religious and the cult stuff, like this actually fits.
Hmm.
So all I did was re-record the vocals for that. Everything else was the same. We just reamped it. And then other than
Hmm.
that, I think the only one was the Chariot. It was the only song. Um, Chariot was supposed to be on the first album.
Hmm.
Um, but when we recorded it, it actually sounded fine. We just didn't, the song itself, it just didn't sound aggressive. So we changed out a few parts and I changed the lyrics about it. It was originally supposed to be my bass player wanted it to be about like the Iliad, you know, the movie
Yeah.
Troy, where
Hmm.
like they killed
The
each other.
Odyssey.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, this is doing nothing for me. So that's what I did. I went to the Bible, the Book of Revelation, the Doomsday. I just literally Control F Chariot, and I
Yeah.
just found some cool shit. And I was like, all right, it's like a battle between angels and demons that cut each other's heads off. I'm like, I could write about that. And that was all. I think that's the only one that we redid, honestly. All the other songs are brand spanking new. Yeah, that's
That's
it.
very cool, man.
Yeah,
I remember hearing the older version of Heaven's Gate, and I remember it was good, but I had said to Tyler, "Is like, this needs like an updated production." He's like,
yeah.
"We're gonna be redoing it. It's gonna be on the new album." And he showed me a small clip of like the updated production of it. I was like, "Oh God, the song's gonna fucking rip, dude! It's gonna be one of the best on the album." Um,
Yeah, we
and
reamped it, and my vocals were pretty not good on the original on the original version. Like I wasn't happy with them, but
mm,
that was like my first time at the professional recording studio. So I took this on when we did the album, I took it much more serious. I took care of my throat for like 2 months. I really was, I practiced a lot
mhm.
and I think that was also another key to really finding like sounding better on this album. That was important to me because I was always like we said before, it was never really my plan to sing. I've never sang before. I still don't even know what the hell I'm doing. Every time I sing, I just destroy my voice. But
Mm.
I still wanted it to sound good. I don't think I ever had the skill to do it. I kind of like, okay, now I think I got this.
You also have a very unique sounding voice.
Thanks, man. Appreciate
Um,
it.
yeah, man. It was one of the cooler things that I remember hearing about the first time I heard Electrocutioner. I was like, that's interesting. That's not your typical thrash voice.
Yeah, no.
It sounds kind of crossover from like thrash almost into like what a death metal kind of vocal
Yeah.
would sound like. Um, it's very cool. It's very unique, and it adds a lot to the band too, man. So
Yeah, yeah, I
cool
think
shit on that.
I try to think like, dude, I mean, I could sing, like I can hit notes, but I don't think I have I just don't think my voice, a natural voice, like I don't have a singing voice.
Mm,
But when we started the band, I was like, dude, I'm not gonna be able to find someone who A listens to even this type of stuff, or so I'm like, let me just try it. And look, dude, to be honest, like I don't think my vocals are good at all on the first few recordings. False Idols, it definitely gets better, but I think this one, I really kind of locked in exactly what I was going for.
hmm
And I had some weird, like my influences for vocals. I was like, I want to sound like, my favorite record of all time is Exorcist Nightmare Theater. And it's like the singer just sings like a demon. I just loved it. I just sick. I think there is like some pitch shifting. And like the Ultimate Warrior, the wrestler, I just loved how
Yeah.
he, I was like, oh, that's cool. And I just wanted to like, I was like, I just want to sound like I've always said like, I just want to sound like I'm hawking a loogie, like I'm like just like a growl. And I just like, that's I kind of want, like just evil sounding and I'm trying to throw those high pitched screams in there, those Tom Araya screams in there too now. So We'll see if I can
That's
get those.
that's sick, dude. And yeah, I totally forgot that you're a wrestling guy too.
Yeah, not anymore, dude. Same thing. Cut it out.
No?
Nah, it's lame. It's like childish, you know.
Yeah.
I always tell
It's
Tyler, like when I was in eighth grade, I was watching Stone Cold Steve Austin drink beers and just
yeah.
get arrested, and I'm like, that's what I want to see now. I'm a grown man. That's what I want to. I want on a Monday night have a beer and watch some guy kick ass. Instead, I'm
Yeah.
watching like it's like a cartoon almost. I'm like, this is lame. So I'll watch like the Royal Rumble. That's about it.
Yeah. The Rumble's always good, man.
Exactly. It's fun. It's like the Super Bowl.
Exactly. Yeah, Tyler had mentioned he was gonna go over hang out with you when Hulk Hogan died. He's like, yeah, me and Mark are gonna get drunk and watch Hulk
Well,
videos
yeah,
and
we
shit.
didn't. We didn't because Ozzy was the night before, so I think we were a little
Yeah.
shot. Yeah, we were shot. I did
Um,
get the Hulk Hogan beers though. I did.
are they any good? I heard it's like bad PBR.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of a taste to it. I mean, after the worst part about it is they're like 4.2. It's like I thought they'd be
Oh,
stronger. Yeah, it's really light. It's really light, man.
there's nothing in that.
No, I mean they sell tall boys, which are a cooler idea. I like that,
Yeah.
but I don't know if I'll buy them again. Actually, it's funny you mentioned that because I actually we were having fun drinking, and I actually was like, "Yo, we should get sponsored by them. Let's be a band with a sponsored beer." So I wrote to them. No joke. The next day, I saw that band. They're from New York, like Anaka
Yep.
they got. And Tyler was like, "Bro, how is that? They have the same idea." And I was like, "I'm not. We're not doing this anymore."
So they're tied in. Um, I'm pretty sure that they're like personal friends with Hulk, or at least
Oh, dude.
like if not Hulk, someone close to him. Um, but yeah, the Paulus brothers are always like very involved in wrestling and shit.
And yeah, I had no idea. I was like, "Holy shit!" I was like, "Did they have the same exact idea?" That's funny.
Yeah, dude. Um, yeah, I saw that. I was like, man, Hulk looks like shit. And then
He
fucking
died.
2 weeks later, yeah, it turns out he wasn't doing so good.
Yeah, crazy man.
Yeah, dude. That was wild. Ozzy caught me off guard. Hulk caught me even more off guard than that. But sad,
Yeah.
sucks. Really sucks. And I heard he had a fucking heart attack too.
Was that Ozzy or Hulk? I don't know.
No, Hulk.
Oh,
Yeah.
doesn't surprise me, I guess. No offense.
Yeah.
I did not that you would be offended. If anybody listening who's related to Hulk Hogan, no offense.
I don't think anyone listening to Hulk is listening to
Never
this.
know, man. You never know.
Me and my fucking 12 listeners a week.
Well, the 12-inch pythons, brother.
Hey, man.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, I gotta bump that shit up, man. Gotta get more people listening to this damn thing.
Yeah, it's a
But
grind.
oh yeah, dude, a hell of a grind. The amount of work, man, I'll never forget. Like when I first started out doing this, I put fucking hours and hours of work into it. And I was like, I gotta be sitting at around like 2 hours of content.
Man.
After I exported everything, I looked at the time and it said 24 minutes. I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like the output does not equate, man.
Nope. Yeah,
took
man.
me it took me like 2 days of work to get this shit done and hours of fucking lining the video up to sound and shit. 24 minutes. I was like, that is just such a here and gone. And
Yeah,
so at
dude.
that point, I'm like, I need interviews. I need to do this shit to make the longer format. But
Yeah.
I love doing this shit, man. It's fun. Whether it's like an hour long show, 3 hour long show, shit's a good time, dude. I
That's
love
it. Do it because you like it, dude,
Yeah, man. I love connecting with people. Like getting to know bands that I listen to is pretty cool, man. It's a different experience to get to talk one on one with you guys and get to know you as people, get to know what makes you tick, what you write about. You know, I feel like it opens a lot of doors to shed some light on people for people that listen to you too. You know.
Yeah, yeah, it's interesting to see how what do they say? How the cookies are made or the dough? What's that expression?
Oh yeah. Fuck. What is it?
I like to see how
How the donuts are made?
Yeah, is it that? I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah, man. So now you said what's coming up next for you guys is you're gonna like basically just hide out in a house for 3 days and write the next album. And
Yep.
do you know when that's gonna take place?
I said I want to do it in October.
Oh wow, that soon.
Yeah, dude. I don't, dude, Go turn over the back of those Megadeth and the Metallica albums. It's like 84, 85, 87, 80,
Yeah.
quick. So I was like, we don't, we write pretty simple. We have a style. I'm like, dude, this ain't rocket science.
Yeah.
Bring a song or two. We'll jam in the studio. We'll just jam out some sick shit. And I don't see how it can't be good. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
simple as that. And then we'll record it as demos, and then like, yeah, we'll sit on it. And if it's good, we'll just record it. That's it. Done, man.
Hmm.
Simple. Simple, 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 dude. I can't stand sitting on riffs. I can't stand like a song should be done pretty quick, I don't
Hmm.
believe in that.
So where did you record this last album?
So we did Joe Full Force Studios and with Joe Sincata.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we did the guitars and the bass we tracked at our bass player Rich's house on right into the computer. And then we reamped it there. Tyler did the drums there, knocked out like 14 because we recorded some other stuff. He knocked out like 14 tracks in like 12 hours basically. We did all the vocals there, and just all the production. It was awesome, man. It was awesome
Hmm.
just to be able to sit in an actual studio, you know, listen to the album and shoot ideas and hear what he could do to it. It was amazing. I loved it. So probably if that's what we'll do, we'll kind of record the demos down here, and if we like the product, we'll go back in or find somewhere where we like.
Yeah, dude. And that's one thing I can say for Tyler is that that kid bangs shit out in the fucking studio, man.
Yeah,
You give him
saved
the
a lot of
mission,
money.
he'll hit it. Yeah. He is his goal is to one track everything. If he can, he'll one shot every single song. And if you make him work, you see him crack, which is the funniest shit in the entire world.
Yeah, I don't like that feeling. I'm like, dude, you got this. Nail it one take. Who cares?
Mhm.
Save
But
us money. Get it over
yeah,
with.
man, dude, recording is fucking expensive. So expensive. It's another reason that like I wanted to do shit myself, man. Like I don't got money to be spending in a studio anymore. So much
Yeah,
easier to do everything with plugins and spend nothing except for what I bought the computer for, you know.
yeah.
But you know, the quality of Harbinger is fucking outstanding.
Oh,
So
thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
um every you can hear everything on that album. And like most of the time, like you really kind of have things that are buried under, like you can't really hear the bass so much, or like the guitar kind of gets muddied up. With you guys, it's everything stands out, you know. I love that. I love that I can hear everything, identify what everybody's playing. Um, and I will say forever, like when I first heard you guys, I didn't know you were a three piece.
Yeah.
And then Tyler sent me a video. I was like, there's only three dudes. He's like, yeah. I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like the amount of energy that you guys put out for a three-piece band, it makes it sound like the six people standing on stage, man. Like, it's awesome. I have to see you guys live soon. So hopefully you come out to the island soon or play something like at least regionally close. But
Yeah, we have a
um
show. We're playing with MOD in December. That's about it right now. That's all we got. But
yeah,
yeah, no, I got the same thing like that. Like when we did the album, like I don't because I always say that a three-piece thrash band, those are like my favorite, like Whiplash, but that you should
yeah.
sound like a three-piece, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like Venom sounds like a three-piece. They're not thrash, obviously, but they sound like a three-piece. So it's like there's a lot of bands that like they're recording all these complicated like tracks that you can't even play live. So it's like
Yeah,
I always felt like, dude, just record something that you can play live and it's gonna have that power, just double that up instead
yeah.
of doing all this Guns N' Roses, two
Right.
different people playing this, I'm playing it. It's like, dude, we're three guys. Why would we do that?
Yeah. I mean, like you capture the three-piece sound. It just sounds so much bigger, is what I mean to say. Um,
Yeah.
it
Well,
like
I
the
would say I don't know why. But the only thing that we do is like I try to playing it as a three piece because Rich plays distorted, so it sounds like a guitar.
right,
So I do a lot of things where I'm playing high on the fretboard, like a lot of my riffs, like I steal the Whiplash stuff, or I'm up, like I'll play
yeah,
on the B string, like Lightning Sacrifice. So what's good about that is like we usually have a thing like if I'm playing high, Rich will be low, or if Rich
yeah.
is doing something high, I'll be doing low to
Hmm.
kind of cover all those like all the landscape, the real estate,
Right.
the sound waves type of thing.
Hmm.
I don't know if that's it. Who knows? Maybe we're just that damn good, Matt.
Well, I mean, with the earlier records back in the 80s and 90s, it's easier to tell because they didn't have the production that there is today.
Yeah.
Equipment was much different, mics were much different. So what you're capturing on a microphone back then, they couldn't really expand as much. But now, like, there's different studio techniques that have developed. Like, you can pan a certain way with each instrument. You can cut out the highs and lows and do
Mm.
pass filters and shit. Like there's ways to accentuate what you're playing.
Yeah, I'm sure
And
Joe
I
did all that. I just have no idea.
yeah.
Joe made it sound great. I don't know what he did, but I'm sure he did all those tricks. But I don't, dude, I don't even know what that means. I know what a pass filter is, dude. Seriously, I know nothing, dude.
Totally fair, dude.
I don't.
Totally
I couldn't
fucking
even
fair.
describe. I couldn't even describe what a plugin is. When people say plugin, I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, we got those. I have no idea what it is, dude. And I refuse to learn because I'm like, I don't want to know.
Damn,
I just
man.
tell Rich my business, but I'm just like, you just do it to take care of it, please.
Make it sound like the thing. Do the thing.
Yeah, yeah, that's all. But turn it on, dude. Press the power button. Yeah,
You know what, man? That's probably I don't know, man. Knowing too much isn't a good thing. So it's like music theory. Everyone's like, "Oh, you should at
yeah,
least know basic music theory," but it's like I do know basic music theory, and I had to forget that in order to enjoy how to play music again.
yeah, yeah, dude. I said it. I did an interview with this guy from London last week, and I think I'm not tooting my own horn because I'm not. I have no ego, but like, I think I write really cool riffs.
You do.
And I think there's other bands that are awesome, but like they're better than us in some ways, but I just think they don't have certain riffs. Not a competition. I'm just saying like,
Right.
people have different styles. But I always say like a lot of guitar players, bro, they just keep practicing all the time, like the technique, like they're just learning everything. I'm like, dude, you probably should stop and
Yeah.
just practice writing sick ass riffs. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because if you don't practice writing sick riffs, like it's just the same thing as a skill. So
Right.
years ago, dude, I was like, this is how good I want to be at guitar. I don't want to learn how to do sweeps. I don't want to learn how to do whatever you guys are doing. I just want to. That's it. Now this I'm done. And
Hmm.
now I'm gonna focus on writing cool shit. And I think more people should do that, dude.
I agree, man. I honestly like I went through a phase where I was like, yeah, I want to learn how to do sweeps. And I was like, yeah, because it sounds fucking cool. So why wouldn't I want to do sweeps? And then everybody started to do it. And I'm like, well, there's no impact for it anymore. You know?
And I mean, like, there's bands like, no, like Necrophagist, incredible, like, stuff like that. It's sick. But a
Yeah.
lot of these guys, I'm like, dude, it doesn't even sound like it fits. It's a
Right.
neoclassical thing. Like, I don't know. It became this be all end all thing. Like, I would used to, like, I would, who gives a shit? The point is, it's like, there's a certain point where you could know everything, but like we were talking about the Megadeth guitar players. I don't know if they ever written a cool riff. I have no idea. Not the older ones. I mean, like the everyone after Marty Friedman. These
Right.
guys were wizards, but did they ever write anything good? I have no
Hmm.
idea. Probably not, right? I mean, you
So
know.
that's always the problem that I've had with Megadeth. Is that like when it comes to truly memorable guitar solos and shit, if you compare apples to oranges and like compare Megadeth to Metallica, you go to a Metallica show, people are singing the guitar solos back to the band. You go to a Megadeth show, people aren't doing that. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that there's been so many different styles incorporated and so many different elements and skill levels
Mm.
incorporated in Megadeth's music that it's like you go to a Megadeth show because you appreciate the guitar solo and you just want to be amazed by it. You go to a
Yeah.
Metallica show to hear the guitar solo you love and you can sing along with it. And like the irony of that is Dave used to be in Metallica. He wrote, their first two albums, two and a half albums, but like he has these amazing fucking guitarists that play with Megadeth that I don't want to say it's jerking off, but like they are really just there to show off.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, you're never gonna catch me saying anything nice about Metallica before I say it about Megadeth because I love Megadeth. But
I
yeah, I
do
mean,
too. Don't get me
I,
wrong. I love Megadeth,
yeah, but I
but
don't like their modern stuff either. Like, I think there became a certain point where Megadeth. I always say like there's a guitar style. Like Testament was always like this, like the guitar style, like the solos, not the
yeah.
riffs. They're slick. I always say the word
Yes.
slick, and what I mean by that is like technically proficient. It sounds
Hmm.
pretty, but it does nothing for me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's a lot of guitar players like that. Now Kirk Hammett very melodic, so he's got that like kind of sing along thing. But I mean that guy, he really lost his stuff too with the overdid it on the wah wah pedal,
Yeah.
bluesy stuff.
Well,
But yeah, like there's a lot of that
hmm,
guitar solos where to me it's just like, oh wow, you're fantastic, but it sounds more like a demonstration of technique and aptitude more than like, oh, this fits the song and this really sounds good over it. That type of thing.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Um, that's the way I look at it. Like, oh, it's slick and sleek, but I don't
Yeah.
know. You know?
I feel the same way about Testament too. Their riffs crush. And
Yeah.
the solos are incredible too. It's just that it's too you used the word pretty before, I think.
It's nice. It's so nice, you
Yeah.
know?
Like it's very pleasing to the ear,
Yeah.
but it doesn't really like that's not the part of Testament that like really impresses me.
Yeah.
Rosalie.
Um,
You're kind of
yeah, I
popping up in
think
frame a little bit. I'm just saying.
that's all good. I had my cat before. We all have pop. Um, What were we saying? Yeah, I think I mean once again it's preference. I'm not saying like my view is better. It's just what I prefer. Like I
Right.
like guitar solos that have a little element of danger in them. Like they sound evil and
Yeah.
gnarly, you know. I don't like the this is very pretty sounding. I mean you could do a little
Yeah.
bit, but not everything needs to be like this, do your scales and every little technique under the sun, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to just destroy it, you know.
Yeah. I've always been I mean like I'll never knock like the Chris Brodericks or the Marty Friedmans or any of that, but like Dave's solos are that raw gritty shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the technical lead guitarist of Megadeth is always that like pretty, you know, your scales, it's shreddy, but it's also very bluesy. Like they've studied music and like
Yeah.
it sounds great. 100% of the time sounds great. It's just I don't really connect with it so much, you know?
Yeah, and that's a lot of modern metal bands to me. Honestly, like I just go, like it's
Yeah.
very vanilla, like, but it's high quality. You can't deny it, but you're just like,
Right.
dude, I don't know. Where's the like the maliciousness? Where's the venom
Yeah.
thing, you know? That's the way I
I
look at
always
it.
I always appreciate people who can write with a little bit of emotion, you know? Make me feel some shit when you play
Yeah,
a
yeah, of
guitar
course.
solo. And you could do that with a shredding solo too, but make me fucking feel it, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Don't put it in there to be like, well, we need a guitar solo. Like
Dude,
they're fun. They,
I think there's two songs on Harbinger that don't have a guitar solo. Because sometimes I'm like, for what? I mean, like I love guitar solos, but I'm like, there's
yeah.
guitar solos all over the record. You know, one song has four of them. This one can have none. You know, we write
Yeah.
3 minute songs, so you know, like yeah, I don't like whenever like he's like, oh, and here's the solo section. I'm like, if the song doesn't need it, don't put it in there.
Right.
You know,
Hmm.
nothing unnecessary.
No, man. You always want to make sure that you're doing something to complement the record, you know? Kiss, don't kill it.
Yeah, there you go. I like that.
But yeah, dude, I think that you guys have something really cool with this. I think that
Thank you.
this might be a game changer of a record for you guys, and I'm hoping because I know how much work you've put into it. I know that you guys have absolutely killed yourself with the touring and recording and writing. Like you guys deserve some kickback from this. And if you're already moving records like that, if you're already like almost sold out of the shit, like you know you're doing something right, you know?
Yeah, the feedback's been great, man. We like I said, I expect not that I expect, but I expect.
Anticipate.
No, like I always start from like nothing. No,
Yeah.
like I deserve nothing. This isn't, we just, you know what I mean? We, the world's not a fair place. No one can hear this. We get no love. That's fine with me. But it is very nice, to get recognition and people be like, "Yo, I love the new record," or it's pretty cool. The best parts are like when like I like to read the reviews too. I like the negative reviews too.
Yeah.
Some negative reviews are good, and some are just like, dude, you didn't even do your homework.
Right.
Why'd you do this for me? Come on. But some of the negative reviews are good. Because, it makes you think. Like
Hmm.
I've taken things from negative reviews and go, you know what? Let me think about this, and then yeah, that's right. I like that. It's like I learn. But I like when I read a positive review, not that they like it, but I like when they like exactly like I don't know this person, they're from Sweden, and they
Yeah.
literally wrote like the mission statement. They understood what we were doing. I love
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? So like we'll have some reviews where it's like this record's great. They're not doing anything new, like it's nothing new. I'm like, dude, we're not trying to do it. I like that. I'm like, dude, that's cool with us. We're not trying to be an inventive band. We're trying to like put out the best high quality old school thrash we can. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I forgot what the hell why I even said that, but I forgot. I don't know why. Who said? Why'd you ask me that? I forgot. Oh yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's the reception has been good that way for the
Hmm.
album because not only are people digging it, but I've read a lot of reviews or people have said like they basically said back to me what we wanted to put out on the album. Like, oh, that you got it. That was our goal. So like
Yeah.
that's been really like cool. Like not that we want the validation, but like when someone you don't know and you don't tell them what you're going for, literally spits back out to you what exactly you're going for. I'm like, dude, that's amazing.
Yeah.
We got the job done, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's good that you read the negative reviews too. You
Yeah.
have to. You have to because it's constructive, you
Yeah.
know? If you
Some
don't,
are. I mean, like I
yeah,
used
well,
to well, I used to when I was saying I used to review CDs for a doom metal website and bands and stuff like that. And here's my I never review. I would never review. It's so thankless. You're just churning out and stuff. But like
yeah.
some guys, it's cool if they review your album, but it's like sometimes they're it's like I always say like you're going to like if you went to go see Frozen,
Yeah.
that Disney movie,
Hmm.
and you were like, this isn't The Godfather, it's not the greatest movie. What the hell? It's
Right.
like, dude, it's not what it's trying to be. Like
Exactly.
you should review things for what they're trying to be. So we're just
Hmm.
trying to be old school, no frills, 1-2 punch kind of thrash metal. So I like when people get it, but I sometimes people, I think the one negative thing that people chirp on is like the synth interludes. Some people like them,
Hmm.
some people don't. So we did less of them on this album. Same reaction. So I don't know. I love them, but that always plays in my head. I'm like, maybe they are right. Maybe they're not good. So then, I'll just keep that in my head and maybe we'll do them, maybe we won't. We're not going to
Hmm.
change for what other people want. But if someone, you're a thoughtful guy, you're doing a podcast, if you have a criticism, I go, this guy's thought about it.
Hmm.
He's thought about this opinion. Maybe I'll consider it. Like if you told me to write an emo song, I'd say, no, that's not happening. But, a little thing like maybe you shouldn't do a synth. I go, okay, I can consider that.
See, now I'm down with synth shit. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Some people like
um,
it, some people don't. So I'll tell you, no one's actually asked me. So I got the because of the religious thing, the synths on this are called Vision 1 and Vision 2. It's supposed to be like a person having a religious vision, so it's kind
mhm.
of so I got these I collect a lot of cassettes and I have a big collection of like new age meditation, like self-help, like guided meditation cassettes and that's what they're based off. It's supposed to be kind of like spa music where you're like, oh, take the
Yeah.
stairway and feel inner peace. So I kind of base it off that, but we'll see. I don't know. I know for the next record, I don't really want to write about religion and stuff and that type. I want to totally write about something different. I just have no idea. So maybe the synths will stay, maybe they'll go, but I'm glad you like
Dude, you honestly like if you feel like it adds something, it's something worth keeping and evaluating.
it. Yeah.
If that's the one takeaway from the album that people are like, yeah, I'm not crazy about that, you still wrote a fucking crazy album.
Yeah.
That's still the part that they're not taken away from. So if it's a little nuanced like a synth or an ambient effect or whatever, dude, that's nothing to even sweat about. If they're like this ruined the listening experience for me, that person's just not meant to enjoy that record, you
And
know?
I find that cool too, man. I was telling my wife I like to read the shit talking comments. I think it's funny, dude. Bro, like yeah, I'm sure you've left a pretty insulting comment on someone's shit before. It's like it's gonna come back to you one day. So I kind
Yeah.
of think it, dude. I gotta have no ego. It's gotta be funny. We think it's funny, dude. So it's cool. But like if you're trusting in the positive reviews, you can't not be trusting in the negative. You gotta like if you're gonna even read them, you just gotta take them all in.
That's kind of how I look at everything is that you need the negative to balance the positive. If everything is good, nothing can ever be bad. And if nothing is bad, then nothing can ever be good. So you
Yeah.
need to take that as it comes. But negativity always comes with good criticisms. You just have
Yeah.
to find it sometimes. If someone's like, this album fucking sucks, that's not going to help you. But if they're like, I didn't like this or this topic or that, like, if they actually provide critique to it, that can
Yeah.
help you mold what you're going to do in the future. But if it's just like, oh, this sucks, I hate it, people that like this music shouldn't, like, that's not going to help anybody. And it's going to
Yeah. I
make the
mean,
person writing it look like an asshole too, because it's like you can't actually provide an actual negative review. You're just shitting all over it.
yeah. Sometimes people gotta let that hate out, though. You know what I mean? I'm sure
Dude, it's cathartic. It's
I'm
fucking.
I'm sure I've left some crazy comments on people who I'd like, dude, this shit sucks. I'm sure I've done it, so whatever. It's all karma.
I mean, I know I have. I will say full well that I have, but
There you
do
go,
I
man.
do I delete the comment after a couple weeks because I was like, yeah, I was just
I do
having
that
kind of a
too.
I was having a shit day that day. Like, yeah, I get rid of the comment because I don't mean it unless it like actually
I'll get rid of
fucking
it.
blows. But
I'll
like,
get rid of it as long as it doesn't have a lot of likes. If people are liking
yeah,
it, yeah, that thing is staying.
there's 15,000 likes. It's the top
Oh, hell
comment.
yeah.
I worked hard
Well,
for that.
every once in a while on Instagram, I'll get a notification. I'm like, oh shit, this is like 800 likes. Like, hell yeah, that's staying up, you know? It's the gift that keeps on giving, man.
It's that little bit of validation that we all
Yeah.
need, that little
Yeah.
dopamine hit.
Exactly, dude.
But
Exactly.
I just we're gonna probably wrap up in a minute, but
Yeah, of course.
um, is there anything that you can tell anyone listening about Electrocutioner, about Harbinger that they may not know?
Hmm. I would say that's a great question. I would say the one thing that separates, I want to put this positively, like we are students of the game and we are metal fans. And I'm not like you will if you're in the New York area, Brooklyn, Queens, Long Island, there's metal shows, you're gonna see us there, man. Like we're involved, we're there. We're not just some dudes who don't support other bands. I don't know why that's coming to my head now. That's just the first thing. I'm just trying to say like this isn't like some bullshit project. Like we're taking it dead serious, we are the point of this record, Harbinger, my personal goal was I wanted to make a New York thrash album that like is considered a modern classic and then people dig it for 20 years. Like that was like we didn't just put something out like a lot of thrash bands the pizza thrash we always insult them
Right.
and make fun of it. It's all about jokes. We're taking it dead serious. So that's the thing. So if that resonates with you, that we're not just farting around here, that you want shit that takes it serious, and we're not trying to play any games or be overly theatrical and cheesy. If you like, serious, real deal shit, check it out. We would appreciate it.
And you said you had a show coming up, right? In
Yeah,
December?
we might, yeah, we're playing December. I think it's a Sunday. I think it's the 14th of December with MOD at Lucky 13. In October, we might have a show at Lucky 13 with another thrash band. It's not confirmed, and we're thinking about recording a live EP there
Oh,
because
cool.
our record release show was crazy. We had people knock the power out, they knocked the
Oh
stage
shit.
live in. There's a few fights. It was wild. So we were like, we should record a live EP and we can put that out. So if we do that in October, we're gonna do a call to arms for all the soldiers to come make some noise on the record. But yeah, we're trying to lay low and try to get some bigger shows, see if this album does anything. We would love to play Long Island, but dude, it's just not there, man. There's no
Hmm.
offers and there's no. I would hope if a thrash band comes to town, we get some offers, but I don't know, man. I kind of have no faith. Long Island, it's tough, dude. You
Yeah.
know,
It's
try to
it's
make
not
it think. Like you want to
I'll,
sell 50 tickets? Like, no, I don't.
that shit has thankfully diminished.
Yeah, yeah, of course. It's
Ticket
not as
sales
prevalent.
shows are very rare now.
Yeah.
There's
Shows are also
actually
rare, like we play more. Thrash isn't like popular really.
yeah, it's
Like
definitely an underground.
and not only that, if they're coming, they're gonna come to Brooklyn. They're not most of
Right.
them aren't gonna come an extra 50 miles or whatever it is to Long Island and be so
Yeah.
hopefully if someone comes to town we get to play with them. We'll see.
That'd be awesome, dude. And keep me posted on shows. I'll shout them out on the podcast. Let me know, just what's going on with the band. Keep in touch. And
Yeah, man.
I'll see you guys at a show sometime.
Hell yeah, dude.
Even if it means I take a trip out to Brooklyn for a night.
We might have room in the car, you never know.
Yeah. All right, man. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you taking some time to talk. Everybody go check out Electrocutioner. Go check out Harbinger out now. Fantastic record. Job well done, Mark. And shout out to the rest of the band. You guys
Yep.
ripped it up. Go see them live. Go support these guys. They're the real deal. Have an awesome night, dude. I'll talk to you
Thanks,
soon.
appreciate it. Thanks for having us on, man. Appreciate it. Or me on.
Yeah.
That's going to wrap things up for us today, guys. Mark, thank you so much for coming on the show, my friend. It was really cool learning about you, learning about what inspires you, where you pull your lyrics from. Best of luck with everything, man. I think that you guys are going to do great on this record. Hit the ground running, don't let up. If you guys see Electrocutioner coming through your town, go catch the fucking band. Mark, play on Long Island sometime, dude. Get out here. I promise I'll be at a show. The second you announce it, I will be there. But yeah, that's going to be basically it for us today, guys. So thank you, everybody, for your time, for your support, everyone who listens, all the interactions on social media, who tells their friends to listen. I love you all, and I appreciate you more than words can say. Again, the easiest, fastest, and most importantly, cheapest way for someone to support a friend or family member's business ventures is just to help get the word out. I do it for everybody, whether it's a new band, a new podcast, their endorsements, a baking business, whatever it may be. It takes 0 time, 0 effort. Share the page, like and share a post. Tell your friends about the podcast, about any of the amazing bands that you heard on the show. Stream the music that you hear on the podcast on the Face of Music Top 10s playlist. If you're watching on YouTube, just crush that subscribe button. It goes a really long way, guys, I promise. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see you again on the next one. You have been listening to the Face the Music podcast. Be well, everybody. Be safe, and I will see you all again soon. Peace.